Hello.
Yo,
Hello.
What's up?
We're here.
late as always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
We
been
really should just change this to 8 o'clock instead of 7:30.
Then we won't start until 8:30.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how far we push it back. We're just never gonna start on time.
If anything, we should change this to 7 o'clock, and then we'll.
Phil will be starting at 7:30.
I'm always on my computer, like just dicking around beforehand. I just don't always pop in the chat because I'm dicking around.
I was playing.
There it is.
Pair up till like 7:40. So.
You hear that, chat?
You
He loves dicking.
I
was reading The World's Finest, issue 1.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm reading a comic book a day for the entire year.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Because my wife won't let me buy anymore until I read the ones I have.
Yeah. I have a huge stack
Good
of
reason
manga
to do
I have
it.
to get through, and I'm not doing it. And, well, I started doing it, but it takes time.
I'm doing
Well, there we
12
Then,
books a year challenge. So
Ooh.
Get a book a month.
I gotta give you books, Eric. We talked.
I've already gotten
gotta
through
give you
one,
books.
and I'm 6 chapters into my second one already. So it looks
Hell
like
yeah.
I'll probably
There you
hit
go.
24 by the end of the year.
Let's
When-
get it.
Eric, when do you want to get together so I can give you books?
Whenever. Like I said, I've got 2 on my shelf right now. I'm already like positioned to read. So once I get through probably the second one, I can probably take some from you.
Sounds good.
Books,
Sounds good.
books. Everybody.
I'm reading a 700-page biography on Elvis,
Ooh,
and it's
nice.
pretty good.
Yes.
It's just dense as shit, so it's taking a
Yeah,
really
that's
long
a
time
lot
to
of
get through it. I had to
pages.
put it down for a second.
Ironically, dense as
something.
shit is what took out Elvis in the
Yeah,
first place.
that is
true.
true.
It's
That
well
is
played.
true.
No, that's what happened.
Strain into a heart attack.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Oh, dude.
Don't do like what did we find out? They injected him with like 10,000 like shots from like the time that he got his like doctor to the time he died in like 8 months or something. He had so many like 10,000 injections of different steroids and uppers and downers and all this other stuff, and
That's what happens when you steal from black people and never give it back.
Yep.
It's the ghost story that everyone needs to hear.
Constipation.
Needles.
Yes.
Constipation.
Exactly.
In the future.
Every time you have it, every time you can't poop, ask yourself, is there a black person I wronged?
What?
Make that the slogan of tonight's
so
episode, Brendan.
There we go.
When you can't
Nice.
poop, ask yourself, did I wrong a black
That's-
person?
Is the
today?"
reverse true? Is the reverse true though? Like if you've got like straight liquid, does that mean like you're super generous?
You'd be really nice.
Okay, all right. Good to know.
But both of those are bad for me. So does that mean I should just be lukewarm to all black people?
This is sweet spot.
Oh my god.
Sweet.
I want loose enough, but not too loose, or I'll.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
goodness.
Oh my lord! Welcome everyone to the full Everyone's Here session of 2023.
Oh
Start off
no. Oh my heart. That was so funny.
This is the energy I need.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Nice.
before it hits
Okay.
8 o'clock here, I'm going to go ahead and
go.
give us a quick recap from last week's session. So the party had beamed into the palace in the Aquine Empire. After the whole Kraken Bachelorette thing, they got encountered by some guards. Prince Zafar negotiated with the guards to talk to their leader, the Empress Gadessa, who kind of rules over the Aquine Empire. She is also part of like Prince Zafarin's Genasi genie race of people. She's his aunt technically, so they were able to get a meeting with her without having to go through like a whole like dungeon and stuff, and fight a bunch of dudes. So guys arrived there. She talked to you, kind of informed you they were super pissed because you kind of screwed up their reality show. Asked for the map piece. Agreed to give it to you if you could defeat her in combat. Where obviously, if you won, you would get the map piece. But if you lost, Prince Zafarin would become a permanent resident of the Aquine Empire, and the rest of you would all be slaves to her people. But your
And
friends,
everybody's family.
yeah,
Friends
if
and
friends
family.
and family could come too. You'd never have to worry about the beckonings again.
Yeah.
'Cause that's obviously what you care about.
It's a good
Which-
deal to me.
Party wasn't too thrilled about,
Nope.
except maybe Prince Zafarin. I guess
I
maybe
thought
not
it was a
hanging out.
great. I thought it was
Yeah.
a great idea.
Prince Zafarin thought it was a great deal, but you guys fought her. Darby got the final blow before she kind of conceded the battle, which caused him to win the Kraken Bachelorette. So he's currently betrothed to Nat. You'll have to work that out with her, Darby. I don't
What a
know.
great turn of events.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
She
right.
was like last place.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I said I will do anything it takes to win, and I did. I won.
This season was wild. It was a wild season.
It turns
Darby
out their
doesn't
last
lose.
episode was like their highest rated episode because it's
Yep.
just a giant battle they've never had before.
It was great.
But yeah, so you guys were awarded the third map piece, so now you have 3 of them. You just need 1 more, and you were beamed out of the Aquine Empire on the Armored Badger. Oh, and Keith and Dola, who no one questioned me about the entire time you were away, just for living a life of luxury as guests in the Aquine Empire with all this free food and just like people taking care of them. So they were kind of like, "Hey guys, how'd you enjoy your time off?" And they were like, "You guys were like, fuck you."
Also, what I realized after we got off was that no one also asked about Mit, Pip, and Squeaks.
Mid Pip and Squeaks
They left.
GTFO'd
Yeah.
already.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
they
missed
left
that.
before they-
Yep.
I
It
missed that.
might have happened when you and Eric were gone that one week.
Ah.
It was just the other 3.
Got
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
All right.
I don't remember. I think
don't
it was
remember.
around there because I think they left right around the time we went to go to the fog wall.
Yeah, they
I
were
think
just
that
kind of
sounds
like, we're done sunbathing ourselves and we're bored, so we're gonna go, and they just left.
Classic Mid Pip and Squeak fashion.
I was
Nice.
gonna say, an almighty, all-powerful deity of some kind, just doing whatever they want to. So yeah, you guys are back aboard the Armored Badger. There's nothing wrong with the ship. Your ship-formed crew is still available and still working, so you can sail back to the Vanatirian Peninsula now, which I believe was what was agreed to do anyways. So you guys are on your way back.
Where
and
else
that
we
is
would have stopped? I don't think so.
I would think I would go like Darby and Nat.
Yes.
I believe that as the captain of the ship, I think it is appropriate and within my material plane ability to marry you officially as you have bought the Kraken Bachelorette.
You are on a ship?
I'll speak for Darby on this one because I have a
Okay,
very strong
okay.
feeling he feels the same way.
Perhaps.
I think we'd like to get back to the Vanatirian Peninsula and let our families know and actually plan a ceremony and a reception and all that fun stuff before we decide to do that. If that's okay with you, Prince.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. You do want all of your loved ones to see your happy nuptials together. Well then, we shall wait until you get back.
Thank you. And I think it's gonna be a couple months. I have a lot of people out of continent that I'm gonna end up inviting, and there's the venue to plan and the reception to plan, and I don't even know who I want to have do my music yet. And that's something that matters too,
And
right?
I don't even
right,
know where
Darby?
my parents are yet, so
He's
I
got to
can't
find
even
his
find him.
parents. Exactly. So they're gonna put a pin in this one, I
Yeah,
think.
we'll figure it out when we find everyone.
Are you guys
see.
getting cold feet?
No, of course not. Blue Hat Boy won the Kraken Bachelorette.
What is the temperature of your
blue.
feet have to do with the marriage?
It's a saying. It essentially means they're afraid to be married and are too nervous to actually follow through.
Ah, I see.
So their feet
Well,
are too
let
cold
us-
to move towards the marriage.
Let us warm your feet with the knowledge that once we get back to your home country, that you will be able to get all of your friends and family together to celebrate this lovely occasion that you have both found yourselves in. I am very happy for both of you.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Now,
We'll
as a-
figure it out.
A gesture of good faith, I will allow you both to use the large bed in my room, should you want to do this.
You know
Hey,
what?
hear that, Azrael? The captain's given us permission to use the bed.
Yeah, I heard. I'm sure you two would be very happy to accompany each other in the bed.
I'm kind of okay with my room so far.
I thought you were about to say something different. Okay.
No, I'm
Yeah, we'll
quite spacious.
think about that. I'm still thinking I might like to wait till, the ring's actually on the finger, if you get what I'm saying.
You need jewelry. I can provide you with jewelry.
Uh, Darby has to give me the jewelry, and then it has to be
Yes.
blessed by a priest or whatever, I guess.
However,
Ah, I see. Well, then we shall get a priest when we get back.
I mean, we
After-
have Ruma.
Oh, that
he-
is correct.
is
I
he a
forgot that Ruma
priest?
has the ability to bless things.
I don't know if I don't know any priest that
Do,
walk
I
you,
would-
around
you
in a
have the
battle hammer.
ceremony
I
spell,
think he
don't you?
does know how to run a ceremony too.
I was gonna say there's the ceremony spell which is for marriages and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Actually, I
It
would-
actually gives you a boost to your AC.
It does.
for
It's
20
actually
Yeah.
pretty
it
dope.
actually does
It's
like quite a
really
lot.
good.
Do paladins actually learn that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I think it's like one of
He
a second
had
level
it.
spell or something.
And used it at one point.
You
Yep.
can do a bunch of
He
different
did.
things. with it.
When it was like
And
one
to
of the,
bless
I
the
think it was,
thread.
yeah, the thread, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
you really
that's
do
right.
get that, huh? That's crazy.
See?
But here I thought it was only for clerics.
Well, then,
Well, and
we have.
from his
Huh?
poem, like we know he's very eloquent.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So we will
Yes.
get this ring for you, and then he will Ruma will bless it, and we will have you able to lay in the bed together, and we will have the big ceremony when we get back to your country.
I've always wanted to be an MC for an event. You know, I was on a radio show once, and so
I don't
you
know
know,
if
I know
that
how to
counts.
get the party started. I was a finalist, a one-time finalist in the Kraken Echelonette too. So, you know,
I think we all
little-
were finalists in the Kraken National Red Sentinel, I'm going to be honest with you.
But I was one.
But I'm the one who won.
He,
That's
he
true.
is so
Celebrate,
excited about
guys.
his victory.
That's
So
not the part of it that I was excited about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down below the deck and she doesn't say anything else. She just leaves and walks away.
yes, I will have the room made up for you, very special.
And I will go practice my wedding cake.
Also correct.
I make an unseen servant to go and decorate the room, with the
Falls
most romantic things that the ship would be able to provide for me.
Like, got some garlic like cloves like on the ground because there's no flowers on the ship or anything.
yeah, I'll do some stuff.
Even better, you know what, is Prince Safarin misunderstands flower petals and just drapes actual like loose flour, like baking flour
Yeah, just-
all over the room.
It's called flower. It must be the same thing, right?
Azrael, you head back to your room and it's just covered in just garbage all over the place.
And then
But it's
I open the
neatly
door,
arranged garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
open
Very
the door, I see it, and I
Aesthetically
just
pleased.
close the door again. And it's like, you know what? Fine.
You see Darby naked on a bearskin rug in there.
He's waiting. Just waiting.
He's waiting.
All right. Well, there we did. We did it.
We did it, guys.
You did it.
Like the wedding.
We did it. I guess.
So yeah, so you guys can start your way back to the Vanatirian Peninsula now, and it'll be a few week journey to get yourselves back. It'll be mostly uneventful. So that first night, Prince Safarin, you've taken the liberties of decorating up the Azrael's cabin for the coitus that you expect to take place this evening in there. Azrael, you arrive at your room in the evening. You just are like, no.
Nope. I'll take one of the other open rooms. and
Just take
leave
another
it.
open room. Prince of Fun, where do you go for all of this? What's your plan on that one?
That's a good question. I think that because I said I'd let them have it, I would have Sebastian take me to the next best room.
And
And then
probably like the first mate's room, which is probably the room that Azrael would have gone to.
Well,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, I think the second biggest room went to Ruma just from his side.
Yeah, just for
Yeah,
size.
that is true. That is
Either
true.
him or it would be Keith and Dola's room because they also are two big lads.
I was just
They're-
gonna take just.
They just sleep amongst like the regular crew. They're in like hammocks, basically.
I don't know where I would go.
Hmm.
You know what? I'd go all the way to the top of the crow's nest and have Sebastian just sit me
Just
there.
Vibe.
There you go.
He's just getting pelted by
there's a
like
bunch of enemies on the
swords
map.
and-
There's a bunch of pirates on our ship.
Let me get rid of all that from the previous battle. There you go. Just so you get a layout of your ship again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be all the way at the top, just hanging out. That's where I will
All right.
sleep.
Oh yeah, we had a
All
zoo.
right.
Yeah,
It
that's
says
where
the
all
zoo.
my animals.
We had a whole bunch of-
I collect eggs and
Yeah.
and milk and.
I forgot we had the zoo.
So somehow Darby and Nat find themselves in this room, this captain's room this night. Since I'm assuming this from how the entire party acted, they would have just eventually just kind of forced them to go into this room together.
I mean, Ruma would have just went to his room and
Yeah,
went to sleep.
I would have just picked a room and went to sleep too. I wasn't.
I
gonna sit
had
there
no
and think,
intention of
"Oh,
going to the captain's room myself.
Then never mind. It gets
And
unused
if she
then,
wanted
then.
to do it, by all means, she can
Yeah,
go into that room.
Nat'll just take it herself. She realizes
like-
you're not there.
Like I will
and
literally
she's
like,
okay,
as she passes by,
she
like,
went
if
to
you
the
want the
room?
bed, you can have the bed. I don't care. I'm staying here, and then
That's where she was
just
sleeping
go
anyway.
back. Yeah.
True. Actually, I think she did change to a different room.
Yes, after the confrontation.
Yeah, she was a little creeped out by the unsleeping,
by the
unmoving rainbow six-armed monkey that just stared at you while you
just
slept in the
stared
room.
deep into your soul with the
Yeah.
most vehement
Staring at-
hatred in its eyes.
It
Yeah.
took
That's
a
good.
while for me to get used to it, but I was just like, you know what, I ain't leaving. So
This is my room. So screw it.
Well,
Nat
nightlight.
comes to you, Darby, as she goes, okay, so I'm just gonna assume that you and I, we're not sharing that, right?
It's all yours. I'm
Thank you.
totally fine staying here.
Also, we never speak of this again.
Never intended on it.
Good. It's wiped from your brain.
Prince of Farin's like
Oh,
a dog with a bone.
I don't know about wiped
Never
from my
let it
brain.
go.
Winning any game is always going to be in my head.
Darby, listen here, you skinny little man boy. It is wiped from your brain.
Sure.
Do you say anything back or no?
He said,
Sure. And then
Oh, I missed
I'll,
that.
I'll
I
just
missed
like
that.
point to the room and just be like, on your way.
All right. And she heads into the room and slams the door. Darby, that night, while you are asleep alone in your cabin, you are jarred awake by the sound of something being constructed in your room.
I guess I will wake up and look around.
There is a door that has formed in your room, one that reminds you of what Gamara used to set up when he summoned you, but this time it is a different door.
Quite interesting.
Does it have cats on the door?
It does have cats on the door.
No big flashing signs, just a few cats. All right. I will enter the door.
All right, Darby, you enter the door, and before you stands a relatively modest-sized, like, home. You're inside of it, obviously, kind of in, like, a living area. It's nothing quite to the sheer size of what Gamar created, but it seems to be another sort of, like, pocket dimension that you're used to that has been created and fashioned based on the aesthetic style of the person who created it.
Naturally.
Much more rustic and cozy.
I'll just kind of start moseying around, I guess.
So as you start
Kind of
looking
waiting
around,
for
you see
what I
you
assume is
see-
going to happen.
it's fully furnished. There's a lot of cats. There's like 60 cats in this house, just laying around
Jeez.
different places, up on the shelves, in all the cabinets and stuff, just hanging all over the place. It's an uncomfortable amount of kitties, if that's such a thing. And yeah, it's got multiple bedrooms, a full-fledged kitchen. It's a pretty nice, cozy location. Bit of calming silence that is immediately broken by a loud "Poop" as your good patron Lilith appears mid-room, kind of dusting her hands off. Hey, Darby, what's up?
Not much. A lot of cats.
Is it really not much? I heard the good news. I heard someone got hitched today.
No, not really.
But I saw it on TV. You won the Kraken Bachelorette.
You know, like, most of the people that win that kind of stuff don't stick around much longer than like a couple weeks, right?
But I built this entire house for you as a wedding present.
I mean, you could live in it, I guess.
I just might. Really? Is this the type of guy you are, Darby? I thought better of you. You go and you make a girl fall in love with you, and then you just leave them. You just dump and leave them. I'm very disappointed.
I feel like you're just like completely missing what went on.
Am I? All I saw was biting young love, strategically edited to make it look like something was actually going on when it probably wasn't, and then a big battle where you said to the the Empress herself that your love for Nat was eternal. And it was kind of weirdly choppy while you were talking, like there was weird gaps and skips in your dialogue, but I just thought it was a really weird like audio thing going on. And it was beautiful and I cried and I got you this cat as a wedding present too. Do I need to kill him?
I don't need to kill him.
Well, someone's going to take him and it's not going to be me. I have 60 cats in here already.
I don't. Maybe we can find a spot for him at the inn. I don't know. There's kind of a lot of cats
Here.
over there too.
Take him.
We're on a ship right now. I can't exactly keep him on the ship.
Oh, where am I supposed to keep him, Darby? In this house with all the food that he could eat?
That would be a much better place than a ship that has limited resources, would it not?
No, because he's your cat. This is your child. This is the thing that you and Nat are going to do things and, you know, start your marriage off on the right foot with.
You still think we're having the wedding in the first place?
Yeah, I overheard the conversation. The
Oh,
big bald
jeez.
scary guy is gonna marry you. Kratos is gonna marry you.
Kratos will officiate the wedding night. Okay. No. No, that's none of that's happening.
Oh man.
Nat was trying to basically get Prince Safar off her case with him. Without
Oh.
just outright saying it. Didn't want to hurt his feelings.
You see Lilith just take the thing and like toss the cat like to the side, and it has wings and it sprouts them and flies and just starts flying there hovering.
Sure, of course.
Man, I was gonna let you have that thing too as your familiar.
Well. I mean, the card dragon is pretty cool.
Well, fine. I guess I'll just use this as my my residence for the time being. Your head was getting really cramped. There's not a lot of space in there, you know.
I don't know whether that's an insult or a compliment.
It's just the truth of the matter.
Okay.
So, well, I'm gonna sulk and, you know, tweet out to all my friends that you're just a terrible man and, you know, you can't commit and be very upset with
course.
you.
No idea what
And,
a tweet is, but okay.
It's a very impressive form of socializing around here. We take birds, we tie little notes to the birds' legs, and then we release them. They fly around and deliver the notes to all of our friends, who can then leave other notes on our note on the bird that will fly them back to us. Communication takes a couple weeks, but it's impressive.
Interesting.
Well, fine, away with you. I'm gonna
Okay.
question my entire life's existence on all the seasons of the Kraken Bachelorette I've watched and how many of those love stories have just been lies.
Well, according to the prince, most of them. But some of them do stick together. It's not.
Well, I hope you and Nat can work it out because I was rooting for you the entire time.
I would hope so.
When you were in that sweaty mud wrestling match with, I think it was Sentinel who beat you. I don't remember.
No, I lost to Arthur. Because
and
me and
yeah,
Asriel teamed up against Ruma,
One-armed
and then
Arthur.
Yeah.
and then lost. Because he succeeded his saving throw.
Well, when you were you know, fighting the crusty sailor, I was rooting for you. I was rooting for that glistening oiled up bodies of yours, and it betrayed me. Your oiled up glistening body just completely betrayed everything I ever wanted, Darby.
You know I don't have like muscle mass, right? Like I'm not a strong dude.
Exactly, you were like a newborn baby, and you know, whatever. Just get out of here. I'm sad. I want to sulk in the corner.
All right, have fun with your 61 cats.
No, you're taking this one. Take him.
Okay, I guess. I don't know what we're gonna do with him yet, but we'll figure
I-
it out tomorrow. I guess. I
If
don't
you
know.
don't take him, I will revoke your powers temporarily.
I said I'll take him. I just don't know where we're gonna put him.
All right. Well, if you need me, I'll be watching TV and stuffing my face with ice cream, and wondering what love is, because you've ruined it. You pissed all over it, Darby.
Well, apologies, I guess, but okay. I'll just start leaving.
The door
As-
reappears.
As the door slowly closes, he hears a stereo come on. I would love you.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep. So that was your experience. Now you have a winged cat, Darby.
Yep, and I have no idea where we're gonna put this thing right now.
Room is
I'll just
stealing
leave
it.
it in
I'm
my
just
room
putting
for
it
now.
out there right
It
now. No.
it just lays down somewhere in your bed and falls asleep immediately, like right in the center of your bed where you would lay. But now you can't because there's a winged cat in its spot.
That's
Or in
fine.
your
I only
spot.
need like 4 hours of trance, anyways.
Room is gonna
All
steal
right.
the cat,
Trance on
and
the
he's gonna
floor.
name it Sancho.
Sancho.
Yes.
Sancho the flying fairy cat.
Sancho the flying fairy cat.
All right, and then cutting over to Azriel. While all of
Israel.
this is going on with Darby, and he's currently having a spat with his patron about what love is and how he has ruined it. Azriel, you've taken one of the smaller rooms to allow whatever may or may not happen in the captain's quarters to transpire. You don't care as long as you are safe and
As long as you have a
away
bed.
from that.
As long as I'm
Yeah.
out of it.
There's a knock at your door.
I would rouse and open it.
You open it, and to your surprise, it is Nat.
Good evening.
I couldn't sleep.
He's gonna kind of like try to peek around the door to see
No,
if like the
Darby
room
is not here if that's what you're asking.
Fair enough.
Gonna say, I'm not even into guys like him, let alone guys in general, let alone, I don't know, I'd probably pick this chicken before any of you.
Fair enough. He's probably the best of us, if I'm being honest.
So anyways, we're headed back now, and this kind of journey adventure thing that started with me pointing a gun at you is about to end, and I don't know. I just feel like there's something that's not completely resolved yet between you and me. I mean, it kind of is, but it's kind of not at the same time. That makes sense.
Just to throw hands.
I understand what you mean. I'm not quite sure that feeling will ever go away.
Yeah. When we were talking originally, you said that you didn't want me to be anywhere near like a pirate ship or anything, or that I should, avoid the life at sea or whatever. But I've been really thinking about it, and I'm thinking I might be best if I were to try and find a spot on like a merchant vessel or something, just as like a deckhand or someone who could guard it or something like that. Eh, I don't know. It's just something about being up on the high seas. I like it. Now, I think I get what you and Dad and I mean even oh my gosh, I'm totally drawing a blank on what the stupid guy's name is. Who is the captain of freaking Alabaster Keep? How am I drawing a blank on
Is Thomas Lincoln or Thomas Trigger?
Thomas Lincoln? Thank you. Oh my god, I can't believe I drew a
There were two
blank on it.
Thomases.
You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Yes, there's
You had a
Thomas Trigger and Tom
50-50.
Lincoln. I almost said Kincaid, but that was your first mate who's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Even
We're all dead.
Thomas Lincoln, he's a friggin' ghost, and he wants to be out on the high seas doing stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just in my blood or something like that, but I don't even know why I'm telling you all of this. Maybe I'm looking for your blessing or something. I don't know.
Well, my blessing's not worth much, especially to you. But you seem like you've already made up your mind. It's not that I guess it was a misguided sense of preserving your innocence, as terrible as that sounds. But you've more than proven your worth out here. I think a merchant vessel would be lucky to have you.
Thanks, Azrael. Or Arthur. I haven't quite figured out what to call you yet.
You can call me whatever you like.
Bob, it is then. I'm kidding.
Little Dread
Well-
Pirate Bob.
A Dread Pirate Bob. Well, thanks, Azrael. When I'm out on the high season stuff, and I'll be thinking, I'll be thinking about this, and I hope when you come back to Igrith, you should look out for me down on the docks, and maybe we can talk or get a drink and I don't know, reminisce about stuff, maybe about like my dad, and hear some of those stories and stuff about him and about the Alabaster Keep when you were the captain before you went off the deep end. Those kind of stories.
I'd like that. If I can make my way back to Igarith once all this is done, I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I guess I'm gonna go and enjoy your captain's suite. Uh, Prince Afarin, he put flour all over it, not like flower petals, but actual powdered flour to make
That's
bread with.
Sounds
So
about right.
he didn't put a little bit of flour. He put a lot of
Oh.
flour
I saw.
everywhere.
He's quite
I-
incorrigible.
It,
Go
it's
ahead.
adorable.
I'll say I get where you were coming from, trying to avoid letting him know your actual decision with Darby. But just so you know, he's very patient. So letting him know that it will be a while before you and Darby get married, that will come back up sometime in your lifetime. Just know
Well-
that will never be dropped.
Well, if it does, I think it'll be easier when Darby's not in the same room to let him know that I don't really swing that way, and Darby's not a good match for me in more ways than one.
Just know even though you think you've avoided that conversation, you most definitely have not, and you will be having to have that conversation at some point in your lifetime.
Well, if I'm lucky, maybe it'll be when I have a family and it's a little easier to grasp
enough.
everything for him. If anything is easy in this world of ours for him to grasp. Well, I'm gonna go enjoy the bed, and I'll be up bright and early to do my ship duties.
Captain,
I guess you could call me that. And she opens the door to leave, and there is someone else there as well. Clasped in kind of a translucent blue, clutching his side is your former crew member, Thomas Langton, standing before you.
I will be kind of speechless at that point, considering the fact that he was sunk. So,
Lady, if you don't mind, I have a bit of discussion to have with my old crewmate. My old captain. Not that, being the daughter of good Thomas Trick negates you from the conversation, but let's just say this is between men of a particular disposition. Yeah, I'm not gonna think about this. Have fun with that, Azrael. She kind of scoots through the incorporeal form of Thomas Lincoln. He steps in without even needing to shut the door. It shuts on its own with some type of spectral force. I had hoped that we'd have one more conversation before our big final climactic fight. But you did good. In this piss boat, you sank your old ship. Now it resides on the bottom of the briny ocean once again. Probably where it should be.
where I should be.
Where we all should be, Azria. You do know that the current form that I take right now is only because I've been tied to this world through some magic. And once that magic cease, I will not exist, and neither will you. Are you gonna continue fighting for that, Azria?
It's the path I'm on. I gotta make amends somehow.
Perhaps you've changed in some way. I'm too blind to see it. But it doesn't mean that I won't be waiting for you to come and join your old crew down in the briny, nasty deep, where we can rip at each other's souls for the rest of eternity. Finally get my much due revenge that seems to have slipped through these bony fingers this whole time.
Forward to it.
I think a lot to the crew will be waiting for you at that time, Azrael. All of us upon the ghost ship of the Alabaster Keep. I took your hand. How have you been doing with the stump?
I've fared well, not terribly well, but it's been a stumble or two, but getting used to it.
An old saying that you know well, pirates only do what they've done. And the hand that I took was not meant to be for you, but for your big blue friend that had nearly murdered my employer. Perhaps consider it a fit of rage when I saw you. He grabs hold of your stump, Azrael, with his specter incorporeal hand, and it kind of begins to shrivel and dissipate to nothing, and you now have a ghost hand where your original hand used to be. It functions as a regular hand, but you can also, it's also slightly incorporeal. So once per day, you may use your hand and have it go through objects, and it will reset upon a long rest.
Oh, that's cool.
Only the hand, though.
Right, fair enough.
And objects that you
Cool.
grab with the hand do not come out of the thing you're trying to pull them.
Doesn't
So
make
don't think
things incorporeal, just your hand.
Yeah.
yes.
That's cool though.
Easiest lockpicking device I've ever had.
There you go.
Just reach through the door and turn the knob.
That's right. I guess I'd or Azrael would be more shocked than anything, kind of like flexing.
I'll be getting my hand back when you come and join us in Davy Jones' locker, Azrael. And I'll rip it from you. Consider it a loner for now.
Well, I've never understood you to be a patient man, so it'll be something more for you to learn in the afterlife.
I don't suppose you'd be interested in a bit of rum now, would you?
Always.
He pulls out from a bag, since he's incorporeal, but his clothes and stuff are not, a flask of rum, and he bites the cork out of it. Have any glasses? I didn't bring mine.
Yeah, I guess I'd have some on the bedside tables. I'd take some out.
Quickly pours two larger than shot size glasses of the rum, and as he caps it back off. Found this bad boy on a merchant ship at the bottom of the ocean, somewhere off the coast of the continent of Elos. It's good vintage, it's a good year for it. Well aged. Bit of cinnamon in it. You'll like it, Azrael.
You always had a knack for finding the best rums, Thomas.
Sometimes the best rums you find have been on the bottom of the ocean for a few years. He plucks up his glass. To the alabaster keep. Now sits back below the briny deep, where she damn well deserves. And to her crew, who should be there amongst her corpse one day.
2 old friends. And I'll take my...
You see him down his drink bag, and it just runs down and splatters out on the ground as he drinks it. Never quite tastes the same when you're undead, does it? He puts the glass down upside down.
Does not.
And as you put your glass down, Azrael, and perhaps go to say one final thing to him, his body has vanished and has left. But your incorporeal hand remains.
Guess I would stare at it long into the night before attempting to get some sleep and kind of thinking about where my journey might go.
All right. And that basically concludes your sea adventure. And a few weeks later, you will arrive in Igarith, unless there's something crazy anyone wants to do on the boat in that meantime, which you are more than welcome to say if you'd like to do so.
We were
That-
told that the wedding was gonna be after they got
Online.
all their families, so I was waiting.
Outside of the typical throwing up overboard and trying to swindle Keith and Dola out of all their money, or whatever's left of it, I got nothing.
All right. So you guys arrive back in Igarith after a long few-week journey, and I am going to break out the new music here, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, new music.
Music.
This is how we music.
Landenberger.
I
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed the lovely sea waves but they
I've
are.
enjoyed them for so long.
Yes, it feels like they've been part of us forever.
It has
It-
been a while that we've been using those.
Like a hug from a friend. Oh.
Good. Like I said, judging from Nick, he can hear it, so everyone else
Yeah.
can.
Yes.
So the armored badger sails back into the harbor here in Igarith, finding a loose spot that it is able to occupy, and you dock. The harbor master comes out and he demands pay, but you are quick to remind him that technically this is someone else's boat that you are simply borrowing, and you took it away, and you'll have to talk to him to get his money back, or to get the money for it.
I will, as we
His
dock,
name is
I
Bo.
will let Keith and Dolo to let their boss know his ship is back, and if he wants it before the company that wants to take ownership of it wants to take it, he needs to do something about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go and give him a little bit of a shakedown on that one. And, we'll let him know what's going on. It was a real pleasure to see you guys all again,
Of course.
and yeah, it was fantastic. One day we'll have to fight.
Yeah,
See if my brother and I can take you down a few pegs.
Sure. Thanks for being as useless as possible.
Well, I wouldn't say
They-
they're completely useless.
They were kind of completely useless,
Yeah.
but they begin making their way away back to. I want to get this guy's name again real quick. Yes, it's Bolo.
Hold on.
The noble who owned the ship. They head back to inform him that his boat is returned and he needs to start paying the fees on it. So hopefully in the few weeks and a couple months that it's been gone, he has somehow earned
Acquired-
the cash to get it.
Not our problem.
Not our problem. It's for him to figure out. I'm assuming all of the sentience of the boat has dissipated as well.
Oh no, the boat is still immensely
Oh, okay.
sentient. Pip and Squeaks did not end that spell when they left. There is still a fully functioning living crew on that boat who are bound to it and cannot leave.
Awesome.
As you guys are kind of gathering up your items and your things, Nat steps off the boat, takes a whiff of the sea air, looks at the party and goes, "Gentlemen, it has been a thing. And I look forward to seeing you all again, especially my future husband." So, remember that, Prince. It's a future thing. Why don't you hit us up in 50 years? How's that sound?
Oh, that is actually quite interesting that you say this, Nat. As I have been doing some thinking over these last few weeks as we have been traveling back to your home space.
Yes.
I am very honored to be able to be a part of your special day, and I am glad that you are taking such a short time in between when you have gotten engaged to when you are getting married to get all of your affairs in order. That being said, I think I may have to. I might be a little late to your big celebration. Though I
Oh,
promise
no,
I will be
say
there.
It isn't so.
It
Oh,
is
no.
so. Though I will say it isn't if you would prefer.
No, by all means, if you have business to take care of. I know that Darby and I would not want to interrupt that. Right,
No,
Darby?
Of course
Right-
not.
Right,
Don't,
Snuggle Bunny?
don't want to mess with anything you've got going on in your world.
Yes, that is quite true. And as for all of you as well, I must bid you adieu, as I think this is a perfect time for me to set upon my own journey.
Vacation's over already?
Oh.
Well, I have been thinking, as we have been doing so much adventuring, and as I've had a lot of fun being a pirate as well as being shown around, you have made it very clear to me that this death situation is quite a serious one for many of you mortals here. And with knowledge that that random lady from the office building as well as countless million or so slaves, have probably died and gone somewhere to a place that they cannot return from. It is my responsibility as their master and as a better human, as a better being, to retrieve them. So I will be going. Oh, as well as Darian, as well. I will be going to go get them.
Well, if you ever do find Darian, you should bring him back around at least once.
Yes, that would
yes.
be quite the quite
Well,
the
it would.
It's quite the sight.
It would make the most sense as he is from here. So that is what I will be doing. And as the captain of this ship, it would be only right if I took this and continued on as an emissary of my father. It is only right that we return our slaves to their proper positions.
Well, it's very noble of you, Prince. You will be missed.
Yes, you will be missed as well. Please, if you are going to kill more orphans, I would suggest thinking differently this time around.
I don't think he'll be killing any more orphans, not while I'm around.
I will make the distinction that it was not intentional the first time, but yes, I would definitely think twice.
Then be very careful not to kill any more in the future. And Darby, I would like to say to you that you are a very wonderful competitor on this show, as well as someone who likes money very, very much.
You know, you were giving me a good run for my money during the Kraken
Yes.
Natural as well.
Yes. Well, seeing as you like money so much, I have these things for you, as I will not be needing them, and I will give you the 51 gold that I have and the 47 silver because I don't. Prince of Var would not need it.
I will take it.
And then I will go over to Ruma and be like, Ruma, I do not know you very well, but you seem very interested in the goddess, which is great because I'm sure you have a lot to talk about. I have this religious doodad that I got while we were doing things that you can have, as well as these 2 shiny rocks.
What is this religious doodad?
I literally just have it down as religious doodad.
Probably
is
was
worth-
something you picked up in like the first dungeon or something. of
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
game, the
It
Holy
says
City.
religious doodad. It's worth 100 GP. So
you go.
enjoy that. And then you have 2 ambers that are worth they're worth 50 GP each. I'm
Alright.
getting rid of my inventory. There we go. And then I will go over to
Dumping it all
Sentinel.
over.
Oh no, I know. I will. Yeah, no, I'll go over to Sentinel and I'll say, Sentinel, you have been a lovely and wonderful companion. I have not ever met a guardian fowl, which is rare because I have seen many things. But you, I suspect, are very special.
Thank you, Prince. You've taught me many things in the short time you've been around here, and I suspect in our long lives that we may see each other, at least I hope, one more time. And if not, thank you for the time that we've had together.
Well, like I said, I will be back for the wedding, so I will see you in 50 or so years of your
Yes.
time. But I might be late, give or take 100 years or so.
Understandable.
How unfortunate.
Give
Yeah.
or take 100 years means you could show up 50 years ago.
True.
That is correct.
He could have shown up 100 years ago for it.
In the background, you see Prince Safar walking around with a map, trying to figure out where the wedding is at. I give Sentinel, here is this feather that I was told is very important, though I did not know why we needed it. But it's that thing that can summon the rock that will take you where you want to go.
Oh,
For the
cool.
bird, yeah.
Because we didn't use it.
We never
So
used it, yeah.
there you go.
You have
And
a
also-
rock traveler device now.
Yeah, you have a one-way rock travel device.
Nice.
And then
They won't carry the whole party because we weigh
it
too
won't.
much.
It way too
much,
much.
yeah.
But, you know.
You can
Also,
carry like most
you're-
of us though.
here is this, and it's a giant mascot head of Arthur from the thing.
Oh yeah, because we had Smash and Steal it.
You can. This is funny. I've been looking at it all time, and I thought you would have more fun with it if you had it. So there you go.
I, out of the wonderful gifts that I've received, Sentinel lifts up his wing and starts reaching into his bag and pulls out the powdered wig from the play that we had, and that I grabbed from the dressing room, and it said, "Prince, you've always been a character." And so to remember you and your wonderful personality, here, take this wig.
Oh, thank you. What do I do with this fake hair?
You wear it and remember us.
Put it around my neck.
No, that's what it was meant, but whatever works for you, I guess.
And then finally, I will go over to Azrael and say, "Well, this is goodbye, my friend. It was good having you as a first mate on this trip.
My pleasure.
I have these things for you. This is a jar of liquid that I did not drink, but here you go." And it's the oil of slipperiness. Never used it,
Ooh,
so you can
Nice.
just have that.
perfect.
And also, I have this that we got way back when we first met each other in that really weird place where you all are at, where the people were frozen. Do you remember? It was 2,000 years ago or so. It
It's not
is
that long ago.
the Wand of Entangle. So you could just have that. And then finally, as I will be taking our ship and you will not have a ship, I thought it would only be right if I replaced it with a ship of your own. So here you go. And I'll hand you a note that says 1 free boat
Yeah. I was wondering where you were going with that.
that we got.
Yep.
I forgot about
Arthur-
that.
I did not
Arthur
forget about it. I
or
just didn't know.
Azrael will chuckle to himself and reach around his neck within his shirt. When he does that, he will pull out what appears to be a cloth chain that is tied to what appears to be almost like an obsidian black whistle. Saying what you did about looking for the slaves you banished and Darien. That's going to be a tall task. I have no doubt you'll be capable of it, but this might help you. I'm going to hand you the Nightcaller whistle. It is a necromantic whistle we got from the original city that does allow you to summon the dead. So it'll have some sort of magical tie to bringing back people who are gone. So it might help you begin your search.
This is very kind of you. I shall use it when I will blow the whistle when I find them, so that you will be able to know that I have done this.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much. With that, Prince of Farman said, "It was a pleasure meeting all of you, and I will be sure to I will have Darien tell you all about our adventure when I bring him home."
Love that.
And then,
Aaron?
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
I was just gonna get back on the ship.
Which is exactly what I was gonna say you did.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you bid your farewells and you head up the gangplank and have the crew hoist it away with your sentient crew, and at the captain's wheel, Prince Safar, and the Armored Badger's sentient crew is at your disposal, Captain.
All right. I do not know what I am supposed to say to all of you, mostly because you are beings without capability of real conversation. That being said, we will fix that as we continue. Onward and upward to the great unknown, and by the will of my father. Oh, by the way, this ship is very gross. We will change that. And I will snap my fingers, and then the ship turns into this huge 80 billion story, white with gold rainbow sails sort of thing. with like giant wings at the back of it.
So your sudden transformations knock a bunch of the other boats like off their things. It kind of causes a huge ripple, but it doesn't much matter as the former armored badger begins sailing along the ocean before rising up out from the surface of the water, flying, sailing upwards towards the heavens, and makes a left star straight on till morning. And I'd sing you the Peter Pan song, but we'll get copyrighted claim, so I won't. And
Yep.
it will vanish off into the sun, basically.
We could have done that this whole
Aw.
time. And yeah, right. We could have done this the whole time. And we had to go get a ship ourselves.
I am just tickled
That's
pink
different.
that Bolo was told that his ship is back. and
Yeah,
now his
they
ship is
just
totally
immediately
gone again.
commandeered it and left.
That is great.
He'll figure it out. That's not our
He doesn't
problem.
pay the fees on it now.
Yeah.
Well,
If
Doesn't have to
anything,
pay
we did it
fees
for
on it
free.
anymore.
I just can't wait for him to come down here and someone to tell him the story that it transformed into,
Into
a,
a giant,
magical
like, 80
Technicolor
flying
flying.
ship and flew away. If only there was a way for him to see that himself. Oh well.
Fantastic.
Shell shock Nat just goes, I'm gonna take my leave too. I'm gonna go get a drink. This entire expedition has aged me considerably. And she just starts heading down to one of the pubs with one final wave to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, man.
Well,
And there are now 4 of you.
seems like it's time to head back to this farm. I mean, we could stay here for like a day, but Not
quicker
the
I can
best
get out of this
idea.
town, the better.
as fun
Off
as
to
it would be
get
to go to the old
Jamie.
stomping ground. Probably should get out
We
of
heading back to the Zafar Inn. So
Yeah.
our base of operations.
here. There's really nowhere else for us to nowhere else for us to go right now.
See if
We
Jamie's
got to
done
bring
with
the
his
cat
project.
there.
Oh yeah, I gotta bring the flying cat with us.
See if Jamie's done with his project with his dear old brother.
Hopefully.
Darby, you have a ton of scratch marks on your arms from the cat. It's very mean.
Ruma will try to pet the cat very gently, and he does so with so much grace, it's almost surprising.
The cat seems to be okay with it. It just hates Darby because that's what Lilith has commanded it to do.
Oh, Ruma's a big fan of this cat.
You know, Ruma,
As we're like as we're kind of walking around and stuff, you're gonna see Ruma just passively get closer and closer to Darby just to scratch behind the cat's ears when nobody's looking.
you know, Ruma, you can just take the cat.
What? No. We have business.
Oh, okay. I won't be offended if you just want to like keep it for a while. I don't know how my patient would feel about it, but my cat, I can do whatever I want with it as far as I'm concerned. Giving it to somebody who will be around me still puts it within my vision. Oh,
No answer, Ruma.
Ruben
No,
does not say
it's-
anything.
Alright, well. We'll just keep this dastardly thing around for a while, I guess.
It hisses at you, as you call it dastardly.
Proving my point, you know.
I was just gonna walk away nodding in agreement with the cat.
All right. You guys are leaving Igorith immediately to head to Highwater. Then is what I'm taking. All right.
Yeah.
You guys make your way down to the gates to take
Make
you
our way
back through
downtown.
Bridgetown and over to Highwater. But there's one final person that you see that stops you along your way as you make it to the gate. With her black hair and kind of engineering sort of uniform, your vampiric astronaut stands before you, Mila, kind of just
Oh.
hanging out. She goes, "Well, now, that is a sight for sore eyes if I've ever seen one in this bloody hell of a town."
This is a bloody hell of a town.
Yeah, it really is when you have to work for Sword and Sickle to build them a rocket.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sure that's
So
fun.
you finally worked out a deal.
Well, it was either that or Gamar torches all of Grutters and Dad and I get displaced. So I'm currently very slowly constructing them a nice little rocket with just a few bells and whistles and things that'll happen to go wrong when it launches the first couple times once we go to test it in, I don't know, 10 years or whatever that it's ready.
Of course, of course. And you just
Always-
can't quite figure out why it's not working as intended, right?
Always about installing that one key flaw. I mean, there's a key flaw in my rocket that I put in there in case anyone else tried to use it.
Of course.
I'm glad we didn't need to see that.
Yeah, I actually wasn't sure if it was going to take off properly or if said key flaw was just going to happen, so it worked out.
Lucky for us.
Yeah,
Oh,
glad to hear
nice.
that now.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that now, not before we got in.
Yeah, well, didn't have much of a choice. So, well, it was good to
True.
see you guys. I'm unfortunately stuck here for a while, but if you ever need an engineer for anything, let me know. I'm sure I could request some PTO time from the old boss.
She's corporate now.
You'll be here in Igarith?
For the time being, maybe make a trip or two to Grutters every once in a while to gather some things, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, if your route ever takes you to high water.
Oh, you never know. I mean, Highwater is one of those places where I might need to go there. Good resources in marketing in Highwater. Oh, and if you
Listen.
see Boris for whatever reason, because he's you know, I had to leave him behind in Grutters for the time being. Just let him know I'm okay, okay? Sometimes writing letters and stuff can be a little difficult.
Sure thing.
All right. Well, I'm off to continue planning out my next big improvement to the rocket, only to hopefully have it break down by tomorrow. Safe travels to you and, you know, your journey to Highwater.
Best of luck to you. Well, if we run into your man, we'll let him know that you want some screaming sweets.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That's a really weird way to put that. It's a little uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, bye guys!
Just potatoes.
Oh, I don't know.
And with that-
Screaming sweet.
Screaming sweets, gotta come with that hand. That
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
they don't go devour children.
Go eat kids. I don't have any proof of any of this.
Like a ton of
Get
them.
it, get it. All right, you guys are off to Highwater
See the wizard.
to see the wizard, the wonderful
Off to
wizard
see
of
the
Highwater.
wizard. Yeah, the wonderful wizard of high water.
What's Jamie's brother again? What's his name?
Destiny.
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 Yes,
Wow.
or Jack.
He's the wonderful wizard of high water.
Yeah, yeah.
Destiny Watts.
Well, I don't know if I'd say he's the wonderful wizard of high water. He's the wonderful healer of high water. So
He would call himself that. Yes.
He-
After a few weeks travel through Bridgetown and along the Vanatirian coastline, you arrive back in Highwater and cross over the Spectral Bridge to arrive home. It's a place you haven't seen now in probably 2 months, maybe a little longer since you ventured out. Obviously, you have to reconnect with Jamie and his brother. You can also try and find where Tetra is to inform her of your accomplishments. And then, of course, there's always the Zafar Inn and Pazzo's Pizza that remain friends to you.
Ale special.
Dale Special.
Dale special after a
Guess
long
we would
adventure.
go hit
For the
Safari
final
first.
session, I am going to cook a Dale Special.
Oh
And
god, it's gonna be
eat it
vile.
Oh, it's gonna be. There were, if I remember right, there were anchovies on the thing. It's going to
Yeah,
be.
I'd have to look up
disgusting.
what it is again, but
It is going to be.
Gross.
I can tell you for a fact, if there's anchovies on the thing, that is all you're gonna taste.
If
I'm
if
in.
if I know anything, Tetra is almost near impossible to find on her own. She always tends to find us, so I would just head to the Safari Inn and kind of make it known throughout town that the
We're
owners
back.
of the Safari Inn are back. So that way, like, word gets around that we're here.
She'll figure it out.
We're hard to miss. We've got a giant chicken. Ruma's like taller than everybody in the city. And 2 other members wear very distinctive hats. I think we'll be.
Sentinel is gonna paint a sign that just says the boys are back in town, and he's just going to be holding it as we walk
holding
through.
it.
Song
I
just starts
love it.
playing. The most generic end credit song to any 80s movie.
Yes.
Boys are back in town.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All right, you guys. You as you're making your way through Highwater, you're kind of letting people know you're actually recognized. I mean, you're an established business now within Highwater. So, you being away has been an issue, or not really an issue, but it's been it's been noticed by several people. So as you've arrived, some of the townsfolk are like, oh, the proprietors of the Zafar are not back. It's good to see you.
Great to be back.
And you arrive back at your cozy inn, where Cheese Sandwich and his brother man the inn. Orthator,
And Nim is there, right?
Nim is there,
Nim is somewhere.
and then Orthator, the dwarven or the dragon disguised in a dwarf's body, has further amassed his hoard. So now, like, it's extending even more into the tap room. All this garbage that he's just gathered up.
So I've never
Arthur,
seen him
you
leave, and
gotta-
somehow he always
you
gets
have
more
to
stuff.
Keep this contained.
We might need to like get a renovation to
Expand.
build him his
Yeah.
own room.
Just build an addition.
Yeah, honestly, he's taking up a lot of space.
Also, as you arrive, quickly after your arrival, upon hearing that you have returned to Highwater, Dr. Jamie Lee Watts also arrives at the Zafar Inn, eager to
Yay!
see
Hey, there he is.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I would probably just be in the lab, actually, where they come in.
Okay.
But when I hear that you guys come into the Safari Inn, like the ruckus or whatever,
I'm sure
I don't know.
herself quite know.
He hears the boys are back in town playing.
oh yeah, you see Jamie, the scene shows Jamie like tinkering with something very delicate, and then the door opens, the boys are back in town. He's just
Off in the distance as he's doing something very
Yeah.
specific and minute.
It's like, okay. So you just see, Dr. Jamie Lee Watts will come up from downstairs in his clinic/lab.
We're all together once again.
And we're all back. Again.
Dr. Watts, we're back.
Good to see ya.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while.
I didn't even notice you were gone. How long have you been gone?
What, about a month?
I remember I was sleeping well. Everything was running smoothly. Like there was nobody just randomly fighting. It was actually really nice. And you guys have more trips to go on, more death-defying trips. I can see you've all gotten tan. Darby looks one shade less than exactly opaque.
Oh, well,
We missed you too, Jamie. We missed
I
you
like to
too.
keep it nice and opaque.
Mm-hmm. I
Let it
see.
Glow, stand out in the room.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. If you're wondering what happened to your rooms, don't worry about it.
I'm immediately worried about it to some degree, but I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah,
We,
sure.
If you care to know, we did find what we were looking for, so we are one recipe heavier.
I kind of hoped you wouldn't come back without it, so that's good to know. But yes, I did know that.
Good stuff.
Well, yeah, feel free to have a, what's that? Let me check the menu. Oh, yeah, grilled cheese. Because that's the only thing we
When
have
you need
here.
a cheese sandwich, I can make good cheese.
Yeah, and he's back. He found his
I would-
brother. I don't know if you know.
No,
I'll
that's-
take
Fair
6
enough,
grilled
it had
cheese,
to be,
please.
It had to be quite grueling. We didn't think he was gonna make it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
take-
you know.
Cheese sandwich is already at the oven making a bunch of grilled cheese
If I
unprompted.
do remember correctly, Cheese Sandwich is not the one who makes grilled cheese. It's his brother. who
Yeah.
makes
Oh
grilled
yes,
cheese.
excuse me.
Yes.
It's Skippy. Thank you.
Yes,
It is Skippy.
is the grilled
Skippy makes
cheese
it. I'm sorry. And cheese sandwich is
Sandwich
his
is
brother,
brother.
who doesn't like cheese at all.
even though he's named after it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Skippy. I make grilled cheese. He's just flipping the bread and he's buttering them up and he's putting the cheese slices on there.
Ruma will just
just-
keep eating them as he
He's
turns
stacking
them
them.
out
He's
one
like
at a
making
time.
pancakes. He's just stacking them over and over, just making an endless supply of grilled cheese for no reason.
How do we have so much?
You've
grilled
kept
cheese
it pretty
suppers?
fit. If this was your diet for the most part, I'm
Yeah.
pretty impressed, Jamie.
Yeah, no, I don't eat here.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, but welcome back. Feel free to put your stuff up. The horde has gotten bigger, so someone's gonna have to deal with that.
I don't know how it keeps
Uh,
getting bigger.
How's the brother doing? How's that whole situation?
Ugh. Well, I mean, fine-ish. I haven't really been. I've been busy, keeping myself as busy as I can, but I keep getting these summons, which is kind of annoying. Because it's a whole fucking rigmarole, and he doesn't just he's just got to bring all these people in. It's just, he's really showing off, which is quite annoying. And I gotta say, not the best use of taxpayer funds, but whatever. Give your money to the big church.
He's not just he doesn't just ask you to come by. He sends somebody.
Oh
with
yeah,
potential
no,
summons.
they've been increasingly ornate, and the more I ignore them, the more ornate they become. So.
Well, eventually
Yeah.
you'll ignore him enough, and he'll have to show up himself.
Wouldn't that be a shame?
Yes, it
Getting
doesn't
his
strike me-
feet dirty.
Doesn't strike me as a person who would ever do that, but
Oh, well, I mean, if he keeps getting more and more ornate, there's only one thing that can be more ornate than everything else. That's the top of the chain.
I want to wait until after the full parade. So I think I'll just make it work.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
let's see what else is going on. Nothing that you guys would be interested in. I mean, I could tell you all the cool stuff that I've been up to, but it's not nearly as cool as pirate adventuring.
we got by. We encountered quite a trip. Maybe we can trade stories.
You know what? That sounds great. I would be happy to do that. I'm gonna finish up what I'm doing in the downstairs in the lab, and I'll see you guys in 20, 30 years or so. Joking. Turn around to walk back downstairs. Oh yeah, and also Joel comes around more.
Oh, that's probably a good thing.
Awesome.
Good.
Great.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. Don't make a big deal out. Don't make a big deal. Jamie's gonna say, "Don't make a big deal out of it," and then he's gonna walk downstairs.
He seems well.
Yeah.
Ruma, want a beer?
Yes, please.
Arthur's gonna hop over the bar and pour himself a beer.
And Ruma's just gonna keep grabbing the sandwiches as Skippy produces them and eating them. We must get a deal. He's gonna be speaking with his mouth full. We must get a deal special soon.
You're reading my mind.
Yeah.
Darby, you wanna head over there and order one for us?
I'd suppose. Watch
I'll
the
get a
cat.
game of cards started. How about that?
Wonderful. Just watch the cat. I'm gonna leave it here while I go get the special.
It just hisses at you like violently as you attempt to touch it.
I'm definitely leaving him here. Okay.
As soon as Darby leaves, Ruma's gonna walk over and try to pick up the cat, just real gentle.
It loves you. It immediately begins purring when you touch it, Ruma.
Arthur's just gonna be staring at you, Ruma, just letting you know that he sees your obsession with the cat.
He sees it.
Ruma's gonna
Arthur will
glare,
remember this.
with the cat in hands like this. Ruma's gonna glare at Arthur/Azrael, and he's just gonna football the cat and hold it under one arm and walk around with it for the rest of the day.
I thought when you said football, I thought you were saying Ruma was gonna punt the cat.
Yeah, or just like
break it down.
throw it.
Yeah.
It has wings. It might be fun.
I mean, it's still
From
Might
Ruma?
explain it. Well,
That's awesome, though. No, you're carrying it. Beautiful. Arthur will pour, will top off Ruma's ale, and then he will pour a glass of milk, a bowl of milk for the cat.
All right.
Next.
Which is
Oh.
terrible for cats
Yes,
because they're lactose
horrible.
Not
intolerant.
in
but-
not flying cats.
Wait,
The
not
milk is
fantasy
great
flying
in
cats?
flying
That's true.
cats.
Yeah, fantasy
What?
flying
Wait,
cats
for
might be
real?
okay.
Is that a
Yeah,
real
I know,
Yeah,
thing?
you
yeah,
didn't
a
know
real
that?
thing. Yeah.
Cats
Milk is
do
like
not
one
have
of the
dairy
worst
at all.
things.
It's terrible for them.
But then why do they always have cream and milk and stuff?
Because that's what people left out for them. Because people are dumm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
like an
one of
old
those weird
stereotype.
situations where like animation and like
it's like
pop
rice
culture
weddings
basically
and the
just, like,
birds.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
exactly the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Absolutely
sad.
horrible.
All those cats.
They can't like process or break down the milk like at all, like a lactose intolerant person can. So they just get super sick when they drink it. They like
Oh,
throw up and have like
no.
horrible diarrhea when it happens. There's everyone's
story.
cat facts for the day. If you didn't know, cats
story.
can't drink
Get
milk.
back. Thank you for
Don't
Do
listen to
mice
the
not
cartoon.
eat cheese?
Thank you for
What else
subscribing
is-
to Cat
what
Facts.
I
else
think
is
many
heaven?
mice do eat cheese. They're just not like predisposed to it. From
Yeah,
what
it's
I've
not like
heard.
cheese
I
is
don't
their
like-
favorite thing, but like they'll eat
I don't
it.
like how this game
Yeah, they're
I
like
don't like-
unfun facts instead of fun
Yeah.
facts. It's like unfun facts.
Yeah,
Or,
fun
like,
facts about
Next,
cats.
you're gonna tell me that bunnies don't eat carrots, and I'm gonna eat.
Actually, if I
Oh,
remember
no.
right, lettuce is better for them than carrots.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they eat. I think they eat the greens on top of the carrots. I think they eat the actual
He's
carrots.
gone.
He's out. He's done.
done. He's
He's
done.
like no.
That's fantastic.
Everything animation has taught
Yeah,
me.
no, literally, never listen to
It's a
animation
lie.
and animals. It is probably lying to you.
So was it Ruma and Sentinel were going to get the pizza, or just Sentinel?
No, Darby's getting the pizza.
Darby's-
If Sentinel wants to come, then that's fine. I'm not gonna stop him.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
All right, so
Uh-oh.
Darby and Sentinel, you guys head over across the street to Pazzo's Pizza, where you see Dale and Joel frantically trying to keep up with the evening dinner rush here, especially now that Marilli is gone again, away at the in Pragla for her magical studies.
Like the wizard
Kind of.
college.
Yeah, they kind of stop and they see you, and Dale goes, "Well, look who's come back. We figured your doctor friend had taken things over for a little bit.
Well, I mean, he
Made it
did. but-
permanent.
Well, not permanently, no.
Man, it is great to see you two. Come here. Come give Joel a hug." He just holds his arms out.
Sentinel's gonna come and wrap him up in his big old wings.
Big old huggy, big old chicken hug from Sentinel. And Joel, you feel his tight grip. "Come on, Darby, get in here, man. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging."
Fine. And Darby will reluctantly go in for the hug.
Big bear hug. God, is everyone back? No one died, right? No one, like, Arthur's around. Big bald and scary's around. Everyone's all good.
Well,
It's
Prince is
all
gone
good.
again, but I don't know if he was here when we left.
And I don't think Joel's ever really met Prince Safar, and if he did
Okay.
before you guys left, he wouldn't care because he doesn't know him that well.
I don't know. Other than that, no, everyone's all here.
Cool, man. The boys are back in town.
They are.
Oh, something
No.
aside.
That's awesome. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get with Dr. J, and we're gonna have to set up like a party or
Dr. J.
something to welcome you guys back. Cause I'm gonna float something by you real quick. He and I, we've been having a couple drinks here and there every once in a while. Things are going real good. And I secretly thinks he really likes you guys. So, let me know, and I'll get it going for all of us.
All right, you do that, Joel.
Yeah,
I will.
Have fun with that. Well, you seem quite busy. It's not.
Oh my god, it's been horrible. I can't hire a waitress to save my life, and Marilli won't answer my letters, so I don't know when she's coming back. So it's all good. We're all good.
I wouldn't rely on her coming back right now.
Oh yeah, she's
Too soon.
she's blowing things up with magical powers and shit. Like, obviously she's not coming back now, but in like a week,
Too short
who
sighted.
knows?
Regardless, we came here to order a couple Dale specials for everyone. I suppose we've got Skippy doing what he does best. Unasked for, naturally.
What? Yeah, what happened? Why did you guys decide the grilled cheese market? That's such a strange
I couldn't
niche.
tell you. Someone wanted to bring Skippy back. I don't remember who it was.
It was Darian.
I think it was actually. But
I'm just an NPC
yeah,
collector.
you
I'm
are the
sorry.
menagerie man.
It's who I am as a player.
He
Just
loves
wants
his
You know-
he wants the whole menagerie in the safari if he can get it.
I read in a business book one time, you know, when you open up a restaurant, you do a few things well.
Yeah.
And we found the grilled cheese expert, and he does it really well. And so, you know,
I can't lie. He does make really good grilled cheese. They are fantastic.
Dale and I make really good pizzas, so you find your niche, right?
Exactly.
yeah.
All right, Dale. Why don't we, I don't know, knock 3 Dale specials on top of their, the other orders and kick those bad boys out, and we'll get them delivered on over to you. I'll have Elise run them over.
Wonderful.
And if you guys are free tonight, I mean, Arthur's pouring a couple drinks over there if you want to join us for a little welcome back.
Hey, hell yeah, Dale. We're free tonight, aren't we? No, but I guess I am now. We're free tonight. I'll bring
Awesome.
nugs too.
Perfect.
Get everyone back together.
All right, so your pizza order is in.
All right.
Saunter
back.
back over.
Back.
Head back to the Zafar Inn.
Walk
While
across
they
the
were
street.
having their conversation, I was continuously pouring Ruma drinks, and I set up cards on a table for when Dari comes back. But one of the things I wanted to talk to Ruma about is like, hey, Ruma, can you do me a favor? I wanted to try this out. How about you arm wrestle me? And I'm gonna put my arm out on the counter here. Serious, full boat serious. I'm serious. Will you humor me?
How many drinks has Ruma had at this point?
That's up to you. I'm not
80.
intending. I'm not
He's
intending on you
80.
being drunk, but
200.
I'd say anywhere from 2 to 5.
What are you trying to prove?
I just humor me, please.
Alright,
Give an old sailor his due.
Ruma will put his arm up on the counter.
All right, perfect. So I will clasp his hand, and it'll distinctly be the incorporeal hand.
Okay.
I
Yep.
just want to see how strong it is. I don't know its strength. So on the count of 3, then.
Okay.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, and I guess we roll strength then, right?
Yeah.
What we have to do?
Athletics. It'd be athletics.
All right. Athletics.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. 10.
I rolled really
13.
bad, but still got a 13.
So Ruma obviously is a little stronger, so he's able to just overpower you and slam your hand down.
Okay, so before he does,
Oh, you bastard.
As he's
gonna
going,
cheat.
as he's forcing it down, I'm going to change my hand to be incorporeal and have him slam his fist into the bar.
So, as this happens, Ruma, you know you're winning this. Azrael gives you a bit of a good fight at the start, but you're breaking him, and finally you just get that good like slam, and you're about to bash his hand down, and then all of a sudden, what you're grasping, you lose it. So it almost feels like you ball your hand up to a fist because you're gripping it so tight to
Ooh,
slam
that
it
would
down.
hurt.
All of a sudden, you just smash your hand together, and something passes through you that almost feels like it's gently caressing your insides where your hand are. You can kind of feel like a gentle touch on like
Oh wow.
your
Boy.
bone and your muscles. That it's something
Yeah,
you've
your
never
bone.
experienced before. And then
Gently
you just
caress your bone.
Hey. Oh.
pile drive your hand through the table, and you completely blow off part of the table as you smash it on accident.
I'm gonna pull my fist back up and pull some splinters out of it.
Oh my god.
Arthur's just gonna lose it. He's just gonna start laughing his head off.
I'm gonna begrudgingly grab my ale and just start drinking it again.
Good to know. Good to know. Thank you. Thank you for humoring me.
Right? A few minutes later, and when I mean a few minutes, I mean like 20 minutes later, Elise comes over with the Dale specials.
Beautiful.
Hey guys, got your pizzas. She slams them down on the counter.
Oh no, I'll still be sitting at the table that we just.
Then we'll grab one whole pizza for himself and go sit back down.
Man, you guys aren't even back a whole day and it's already a party in here. I miss you guys.
We missed you too, Elise.
I'm sorry I had to miss Ruma punching the table though.
Why'd Ruma punch the table?
don't know. You gotta ask him.
Arthur
Ruma, why'd you
tricked
punch
me.
the table?
Ask Arthur. He tricked me.
Arthur, why'd he punch the table?
He got mad after he lost an arm wrestling match with me.
That is not true.
Wow, Ruma, I did not think you were a sore loser.
He has a ghost hand, and he made my hand pass through it right when I was
Is
about
that a
to
weird
win.
jerk-off joke?
I'm
No,
gonna
it's
grab his
true.
arm and hold it up.
Oh my gosh.
That's quite
Huh.
interesting.
How? I think that's gonna be a longer story than I want to hear. I'm going back to work.
Understandable. Have a nice
love
day.
it so much.
Oh, say hi to Jamie for me too.
Lou?
She
Okay.
heads out. Okay. And you guys got your pizzas, you got your ales. You're able to kick back and relax for a little bit, conversing with Skippy and Cheese Sandwich, finding out what they've been up to. You can listen to Thoptor and his
Tales.
regale you with tales as old as time. And if you want to ask him where he got some of his stuff, he just magically appeared. And, he's procured them from places. Or you can explain the wonders of life to Nim, who's still just as curious as he's always been. He's now incredibly interested in small mammals and what happens when you remove the fur from them.
Oh no.
We might
Keep the
need
cat
to-
away from him.
Yeah.
Keep the cat away from him.
He didn't hurt Peg.
He hasn't hurt. No, of course you would never hurt Peg. Peg is his friend.
Okay, I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I
no.
have never
Never
seen
touched
Matt
so
A
he
get
doesn't
so
know.
worried so quickly.
Also,
My
right.
mouse!
And he has not harmed any of the many cats that have occupied your inn, of which there are, of course, more.
Actually,
And,
I wished he did because Peck is probably not feeling super comfortable.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
There
that's
is a
good.
different story that's being told of Peck just fighting off all of these cats.
It's like Red
It's-
Wall.
It's
yeah,
the
just say Red
yes,
Wall.
it's the squirrel with the nut from Ice Age. It's a whole thing that's
Yes.
happening.
Rat.
The whole B
Rat.
plot of the entire campaign.
Yes.
Come back.
Wait, so-
Tune in on Tuesday for when we
Yeah.
run the small critters version of the
Yeah.
Elyssia.
The war of cats and mice.
So you said that there's even more cats this go around?
Yeah, there's like 100 cats in your inn.
Holy
Oh,
cow.
jeez.
All right.
You're
Mixing
not
Ruma-
in.
Ruma's just gonna nod to the group after pounding a few more ales and an entire Dale special to himself, and he says, "I must retire." And before he goes up to a room, he goes out back for a while, walks in with a bunch of like lumber and stuff, and walks up to his room.
Aw.
He's
No.
building a cat tree in secret.
So I'm not going to question what he's doing with all of that. We'll let him do his thing.
Also, too, if you wanted to wait before you go to bed, Ruma, up to you.
Oh.
The crew
Oh,
from
yeah, everyone's
Pazzo's
coming over,
Pizza do come over and then converse, and you guys kind of are able to catch up and stuff like that.
Ah, yes. Dr. Jamie Watts will come up once everybody is like back over at the farm.
And I will take Dr. Jamie up on the trade stories we talked about earlier, and I will give him a story for every one of his about what happened to us while out on the high seas.
Yeah. Dr. Jamie Watts will definitely we'll tell you more or less about the expedition a little bit as far as I remember. I will just kind of give you. There was about 30 people who are going to be going with us, as far as I know. I don't remember everybody who's all involved. Honestly, I just been.
If you'd like, I can run. Do you want me to run through that, or are you saying Jamie hasn't paid attention?
I
enough?
think Jamie does okay. I'll say this. I'll say Jamie's like, yep, I know there's a few people who are gonna be there. Sentinel's friend, Doomlance, is gonna be there. Some guy from the church, and obviously D is gonna be there, which is whatever. But the rest of it is just churchy types, not really worth knowing the names of. But yeah, we have a plan to go through the desert. It's gonna be a little bit of a thing, but that's what Sentinel's for. And so that's story one. All right, tell me. Go ahead. What's the first thing?
We made it to Igorith pretty much unscathed.
Oh, that's new for you guys. I kind of
ran-
figured if I left you guys alone, you'd die immediately.
Well, glad to prove you wrong. Oh no, only part of me, and I'm going to show him my ghost hand.
Ah.
Literally.
Okay.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
Only person that can
Yeah.
skate.
We commandeered a vessel from a local noble and ran into Keith and Dola again. believe it or
Oh,
not.
those were. I don't know who those are.
We the two bimbos we fought while you did fight heist. But you.
Oh
led,
yes, the
Fight
fight
heist.
heist.
Hi.
Yes.
I remember you guys did do some fighting, which is
Yes.
kind of your guys' bit. I'm
While
glad
you
you
were
guys are
heist-
keeping up with it.
We sailed the high seas. We ran into my old haunts, so to
Oh.
speak, that they turned into an amusement park in my honor, including the atrocities that I've committed. So that was fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Sentinel's gonna put on the Asriel mascot head and show
we got that
Dr.
from,
Watts.
From the theme park.
As you
It's a
put
good
it on and,
resemblance.
show everyone Sentinel, Nugs looks up from her feed that she's eating and goes, "Oh, Sentinel! That is quite the hat that you've obtained there. I quite like it."
You may call me Asriel. You know, I look really fancy and I sail on the high seas. I am a pirate.
Oh, okay. Well, the resemblance is uncanny. And are we all? So we're all using the Asriel name now? Is that? Have we made that decision?
Honestly, it's kind of 50-50. We're still getting used to. Yep.
Yes. You can call me either. I've gone by both for so long. But yeah, that was my original name.
Yep, I remember.
Remember a lot of things.
So we got there, went around town trying to find information on how to acquire the map piece. Didn't really find anybody too interesting there other than the people we stole this giant hat from. Relived some old trauma.
Always a fun time.
Went to a slightly less developed area and spoke to somebody who actually knew what they were talking about to acquire a piece of sail that we needed to enter a fog wall that was unpassable. Because of course, that's what's there.
Sometimes you have unpassable fog walls. Why not?
So we got the pieces.
Gotcha.
We acquired the pieces we needed. We went to a chapel dedicated to Braska, which was real fun for Ruma to experience.
The
got what we
devil
needed.
guy from the.
Yep.
Yep,
same
they're
one.
under the persuasion that everything he's doing is the right thing to do. And
Okay,
with
so
good
they're about the
welcome
same as anybody else out here.
back- yeah, they're just more overt with it rather than subtle.
Well, there's something to be said about that.
We got what we acquired from them. We fought basically a horde of undead pirates from my old ship.
That's fun.
Beat them, broke their curse, finally acquired the last piece that we needed to break the fog wall,
Got
and
it.
ended up on a reality show.
Ah, yes, the Kraken Bachelorette.
I'm
didn't-
confused now. You say I remember, and I thought you were misspeaking, but it seems more intentional now. How do you know everything we've done?
We've had this conversation.
We've had this
Do you
conversation.
know? I don't
I
remember.
just-
Yeah. We've had this conversation. I wrote it down. You see a piece of paper, and there is a sheet of paper that's written from this perspective of this conversation.
Okay, now I'm confused.
Yes. Okay. So now I'm confused. Yeah, it's right there on the paper.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go
Arthur,
build a cat tree now.
Well,
That's
I guess if you're up
interesting.
to speed, then the only one not up to speed, or the only people not up to speed, would be us. If you have anything else on your end.
Holds it up and be like, honestly, that's as far as the paper goes. So
So what's
you
the
told me
deal
about
with
the
the
you
page?
told me about the Kraken Bachelorette, and then we're all finished. I mean,
Yeah.
Ruma goes up to build a something. I don't actually know because not on the paper.
Well, future me failed to leave out that we ran into our old companions. Aunt got the last recipe from her after beating the ever living daylights out of her, and sailed back. So that's. I don't think I missed anything, did I? Sentinel Darby?
Not that I can remember. That sounds about
Mm.
right. No, I mean, other than the crazy sentient ship, but other than that,
Why is nobody else hung up on this piece of paper?
I'm very hung up on this piece of paper, but I'll let the conversation.
Well, if
finish
this
before we
conversation has
discuss it.
happened before, then clearly future me or past me is going to walk through the door and explain what's happening.
No, it's just we've had this conversation already. I mean, it happened just now, but I knew about it already, and I wrote it down because I kept forgetting. 'Cause every time I wake up, I forget everything.
Gotta
Are you
explain.
feeling okay?
Oh my god, you guys are. Oh, I forgot how slow. Okay, so I routinely know everything that has ever happened at all times.
Oh.
It doesn't stay because I'm a mortal human brain. So sometimes I have to write things down. This particular conversation was quite a bit. Pulls out
Fair
another
enough.
conversation, another piece of paper. See, there's a gap between what we said before and then this conversation. See, this is me,
Huh.
holds up piece of paper, says this stuff. Said stuff.
As Jamie shows you this, Joel also pipes up. He's actually been talking to me about it a little bit. A couple of those pieces of papers are an entire script to an episode of Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, apparently there's a thing called Law and Order SVU.
Well, you know what?
Interesting.
I am sorry for your burden, Jamie. That sounds like a
Yeah.
real headache.
I mean, it's getting tough to remember what things are, honestly. But outside of that, I'll probably get it fixed in no time. It's kind of hard to not when you know everything. But I will say that Law and Order SVU is better than regular Law and Order. But I don't know what any of those words mean.
He's very correct in that.
Just have
statement.
opinions on things you know nothing about. Interesting.
Oh, it's
Hmm?
not an opinion, and it's a stringent fact
it's a
of
fact.
the world that I
yeah,
come
it's
from.
a fact.
So
Everybody
But-
knows this.
Okay, sure. I don't know
So
what
y-
either of those things are, so.
Nope, you do not. But that's okay because you don't know what a lot of things are. That's not your job, really.
That's fair.
Your job is to play cards and wear a hat.
That
He
is.
does both of those very well.
Yeah.
You're killing
win
it.
And win the crack your
Yeah, and
national
win
red,
game shows as
actually.
well. I just can't seem to lose at any game that I don't try to lose at.
Did your dreams tell you that he's getting married?
I'm sure they did. I didn't. This is the first time remembering it.
He's
So
off
when's
to-
the big who are you getting married to?
Well, apparently it's the Kraken Red in about 50 years or so.
Oh,
We're still working out all
okay.
the details.
Yeah, it's
and-
the daughter of my dead ex-crewmate.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy. Who is invisible?
No,
She's
she's
not
not here.
here.
She's sailing the high seas.
Oh, okay. Well, sucks to suck, bro.
you hear Elise in the background. That's code for she dumped your ass, dude.
It was.
Damn.
It was mutual,
Alright.
but sure.
Hey man,
Mutual.
I've heard that.
I
you know,
don't believe that for a
Yeah,
second,
sure.
Darby.
I didn't understand how any lady could not just be foaming at the hat and the paleness. Did you show him a card trick? Because I know the ladies love card tricks.
You did.
Yeah.
I
don't
will
think-
say
don't
that
think
I
it's
do,
on.
in fact, very much enjoy a good magic trick when somebody shows them to me.
See, the giant chicken lady loves magic tricks. And there's hope for you yet, Darby.
Yeah, sure, okay. Whatever.
As you're having this lovely conversation going over Jamie's seemingly worsening condition after his encounter with Sue. I guess worsening if you consider it to be a bad thing.
To me, it sounds like a curse.
Yeah, omnipotence at intermittent intervals does seem to be a bit a bit of a curse.
So the night is going well. There's drinks, there's food, there's regaling of more tales and more random episodes of TV shows and movies that Jamie, you've asked Joel to help you decipher what they could mean and what they are. And the rest of you are starting to realize that Joel and Jamie seem a little more chummy than you remember from when you left the Zafar in the first time. Jamie seems to have an entire scattershot version of the original Star Wars trilogy written down on a few pieces of paper. It's not the whole movies. It's just certain scenes in no particular order. But anyways, your festivities cannot last as the front door to your inn is not necessarily opened as it's beaten down or kicked in with a
Oh, fun.
booming
Alright.
force.
cruel and
Brother, where are you?
Oh.
A woman steps in. She wears glittering armor just given to her, or I should say just given to her, but seemingly new, embedded with the church's emblem. And Dr. Watts, you see your sister Faye standing in the door, holding on to the hilt of a sword that is sheathed at her side.
Oh, hey Faith. Feel free to, knock or not break my stuff.
First off, I believe that this is not necessarily your stuff, it's everyone here's stuff. Why are you keeping our brother waiting?
Only it's 1/6 of my stuff, so you can leave that part of the door on, and then you can break the rest of their shit, I guess. But
I prefer you didn't.
Yeah, please don't break my
Yeah,
six.
don't break our
door
stuff.
either.
Okay.
well, it looks like no breaking stuff. Well, you can go back and tell my brother that I'll invoice him for the door. But it's good to see you. Do you want to sit, play cards? Darby.
I want you to come
can
back to the chapel
Well, I am
and
very good
talk
at
to
cards.
Destiny,
Ugh.
as you're supposed to be doing to help prep for the caravan. Since you were so gingerly able to ignore everything else that he sent your way, I figured that he'd send me in his stead.
I'm pretty sure I sent an envoy over there. One of the,
He'd like to meet Watts v. Watts. Call it a family reunion.
God, it sounds terrible.
I don't know. That doesn't sound great.
Okay. For you, I will go. But I'm not gonna like it. And I will going to take the long way. And which is quite a long way, because I could get there twice as fast as anyone in the world.
You would also be interested in meeting bringing your other companions here who'll be joining you on this expedition.
I'll update all the stuff later.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, everyone just got back from a long trip. They had a boat. They were on a boat ride, having a real tough boat ride. So how about we say first thing in the morning, you can sit and not have to be Dee's errand lady for like 5 minutes.
I'll be returning to him. There are things that I need to do.
Ah, come on, Faith.
You know that I protect him. And now that he's pontiff, I've been employed by the church to do it as well.
Well, yeah, now that he's pontiff, I'm sure that he has plenty of loyal, tithe-paying, incredibly self-thinking and self-regulating automatons that would be able to do whatever he needs. And you can sit down for like 2 seconds and be a regular person.
Loyal, sure, but not loyal like a sister or a brother should be.
All right, so we'll go right now then, if that's what you want to do. But
No, you may wait until morning. I'm just saying that I cannot stick around.
that's unfortunate. But okay, I'll see you tomorrow then.
It's good to see you're doing well, brother. I've heard about the things that you've been doing here in the city, and it's been good work.
Well, someone's got to take care of people.
I wish I could say the church does a better job at it than they claim to, but it's good to see someone's doing it.
Yeah. Do you want anything to go before you head back?
What is this strange round thing that you eat here with the bread and the cheese on it?
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. This is pizza, like in the Turtle Mutants.
Teenage
looks at
Mutant
Joel.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's a pizza. It's bread and cheese and tomato smushed up with spices. Everybody here is super into it. Honestly, I've had a few, and it's not the worst thing in the world. We've eaten worse.
Joel just leans over you, Jamie, and he holds his hand out to shake. Hey, Joel Stevenson, I'm the proprietor of Paz's Pizza.
Absolutely not. Take his hand and push it back. Absolutely not.
You can have an ale if you'd like as well.
Yeah.
That sounds nice. You know what? Destiny will. I got caught up in a bit of business on my way back, let's say.
We've all been caught up by business before. And Jamie's gonna kick open a chair.
She grabs it, slides it up next to the table where you've all been conversing, and sit down as Arthur pours an ale, Azriel pours an ale, and someone fetches her a slice of the pizza. Which Dale at this point has already gone and grabbed a couple more and brought them back over because you've clearly run out at this point.
Good guy, Dale.
Dale's a good one. He's a good one.
Yeah, Dale is a good guy. He'd be on that good guy meme.
And
I'll
Ruma is
pour
nowhere to
in
be seen.
Building catcher.
tin of the good stuff.
Building a catcher.
Building a catcher.
And,
None of us have any idea about.
Set it down for her and say, family of Jamie's is family of ours.
Appreciate it. I've heard inklings from Destiny about the people my brother has befriended
I'm sorry,
recently.
that's your first impression of us.
More like rescued, but yeah, sure. Befriended.
Yeah, that's
Jamie's always struggled to make friends. He likes to she pats your back, Jamie. He likes to talk a big game sometimes. He can put people off occasionally. It's good that you
Really?
stuck around with him.
That's,
I've never
that's
noticed.
not the Jamie I know.
Yeah,
no,
no,
you must be mistaken.
Well, it's been
Very
nice
humble,
having
this
you,
guy.
Faith. It's nice having you, Faith. It was great. I'm glad that you could hang out.
That was just the humblest guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, Prickly doesn't even come close to the description I would say is Jamie.
Honestly, almost a polar opposite of everything I know about him.
This is so fun. I'm having a great time.
Did your paper
What
tell
about
you
when
this
family-
conversation was coming too, or?
No, it did not.
The best part about when family gets around is you start to learn a little bit more about people. I appreciate the ale and the invitation, though, brother.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. You can come by, like whenever.
I know, it's just Destiny is he likes to take up a lot of air in the room, and when there's not much air to breathe, it's difficult to get out and do things like this.
Well, that is a good enough reason of any to not be in the room. You could make up with any mercenary band or like some sort of you could monster hunt. There are people who do that. That big guy upstairs, I'm pretty sure he's like a that sort of thing. I don't actually know what he does.
I don't think any of us know what he really does, honestly.
Consider
So-
sometimes, but if I wasn't around, sometimes I wonder what would happen to Des. He, you know how he can be. Someone's got to be there to watch out for him.
I mean, I can understand you wanting to stay around for mom, so I get that.
He does pay our mother's bills.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. And the people that are, starving and not being able to make their ends meet, I'm sure that's a lot of great comfort to them.
Well, hard to say. I don't necessarily judge his morals. I think he just tries to do best to his family, including you, when he's not blinded sometimes. You do realize that, right?
I realize that I think I have had all the ale and pizza that I am going to have tonight. Dr. JB is going to get up and be like, always great seeing you, Faith. Feel free to invoice D for the door.
I will.
Glad all you guys didn't die doing whatever the Kraken Bachelorette is. Okay.
She's just like, what?
If he's going to turn around, he's going to walk back downstairs and go back to his lab.
Faith follows you.
Oh, okay.
You don't need to shove off like that, Jamie. I'm not trying to start a fight or anything.
You didn't. I was done eating, and I have work to do.
Sometimes I wish you'd open up a little bit more to me, or your brother, or your mother, or you come home. But I guess this is what you do.
Unfortunately, I can't go home. Not until we figure it out, whatever's going on with the stat. Then I can. But you wouldn't know. I don't think you guys have been home in forever.
It has been a very long time for sure. You know, sometimes I dream a little bit about all of us being back together. Dad not included, obviously, but it'd be nice to have the Watts back together again sometime. I guess this caravan's the closest we'll ever get to it.
I guess so. Anyway, be seeing ya.
See you tomorrow, brother. Looking forward to it. She
Oh.
leaves.
Dr. Jamie Watts will sit at the desk for a second, try to remember if all of this works out, but he can't access that portion of everything, and then we'll go back to work.
All right. Jamie, you go back to work. The rest of you have obviously, you know, Faith doesn't actually really say anything. She heads up, kind of just gives a head nod and leaves the way she came through your slightly busted front door that she kicked in.
As she
Obviously-
goes out, I said the tap is always open. Like I said, Jamie's family's our family.
I appreciate it. And she departs into the night.
I guess what Arthur would do is he'd move tables now that he's made his joke to Ruma known. He'll move to a non-broken table. He'll sit down and he'll actually deal out some cards if Darby wants to play
Yeah,
just for a little while. See if
well,
Tetra shows up later on,
play
but if
some
not,
hands.
then just play into the night and then trepidatiously make his way back up to his room once the night gets closer because Jamie said don't worry about what happened to your room, so he's kind of scared as to what went on.
What did
Right.
happen to their room, Matt?
He thought it'd be funny to make them
To make them worried.
to make them worry about their room for a while.
Ruma, you also finished your cat tree in this time frame.
While
a big
we're
win.
we're playing cards, I will also like bring up to Arthur. What do you think he was doing with all that lumber?
Honestly, I don't begin to imagine what goes on in his head. He's an enigma to me, man. I'm a pretty good judge of character, but to be a good judge of character, people have to speak, and he's quiet as a stone sometimes.
Does make it hard to figure out what's going on.
I think that's kind of deliberate. I think he likes to keep his cards close to the vest. Nothing wrong with that. He's been solid so far, so
Yeah. Doing great. What's he doing with all that wood? What did he want it all for? It's so specific.
When you guys head upstairs, you'll see he's just made this giant cat tree. There's all these cats just in it.
I would have lost that back, Darby.
Honestly, I would have too. This is the last thing I would have expected.
The party pretty much continues, and you know you enjoy your time playing cards with Dale and Joel, and you know the rest of them. Elise surprisingly does really well at poker. Darby, you can totally catch that she's cheating, but it's up to you if you'd like to say anything or not.
I'll let it slide while we're playing, but before she leaves, I'll let her know that she's a little telegraphed. Needs to work on it a little bit more.
That's what you think, buddy. And she just leaves.
What do you think,
All right, sure.
buddy? Buddy.
I'm not
That's
gonna
the-
argue with her right now.
And if you guys would like to turn in, as you have a busy morning already. You got back to town and already off to the races.
Yep.
I have one last thing to do before
Yes.
we all turn in. So, as everybody heads to bed, I'm gonna stay at the bar. I'm gonna pour myself one drink and then pour a second one on the bar, and I take one sip and look at the other mug and just whisper to myself, I'll save this one for you, Prince. And then he'll go and take the mug and just set it up like at the top of the shelf, just waiting for Prince Safaran to come and
Claim his
and get his
Later,
drink.
you find an incredibly moldy
The
glass
most
of
disgusting
ale on top of
glass.
the no. But the sentiment is noted, Sentinel, as you set the glass up there. And heads in bed.
Maybe Ruma can do some sort of purifier.
he
You
just
know.
constantly
Actually-
purifies food and drink.
I was gonna say he would have
Arthur's
it.
gonna find it first thing in the morning. And go, hey, what's this up here? And he's just gonna pour it out.
Oh, that's so sad.
Why is there a
it's-
drink up here?
So this night, 2 interesting things happen. As I always like to have things happen at night. 'Cause
Of
it's fun.
Do it. Yeah. why not?
Jamie, you have another lovely little dream. Your
Yay.
incredibly fragmented views of both the future and the other world are getting more and more violent and more overt. The first part of the dream seems to be a collection of scenes of a place of some kind, almost like a very fancy room or office, where a balding, aging man sits in a chair in a suit coat and asks somebody, on the day of his daughter's wedding, why would he come to him? You kind of follow these very fragmented things. But that very quickly from there shifts to another scene, something that feels very familiar, very Elysian. You are somewhere in a dark, dank place, underground it would seem, in a crumbling room high upon a platform, and everyone is there. Everyone is dead. And a strange entity floats before you, nailed to a beam of wood as it hovers upside down with glowing eyes. And you are quickly ripped from your vision and awoken in a wet, cold sweat.
I think I would. So most people don't spend a whole lot of time in JB's lab, as he's not super friendly. But inside the lab, what you would have noticed before was kind of haphazard. Now is completely nonsensical. There are tubes and wires and things kind of all over the place. There's still place to operate and whatnot, should someone come in, but the room is kind of all over the place. And now there's papers scattered everywhere. And then so this time where Jamie has a little cot kind of tucked in the bottom of a something, he will roll out and grab just a random sheet of paper and then just start kind of trying to write down everything that he can remember as it starts fading as he wakes. Trying to remember those things.
Most of the early stuff of the strange scene with the man, it goes very quickly, but the vivid imagery of the people that you've traveled with dead around you and this weird entity above you, in its own kind of gory, disgusting sort of state, is very much seared in your memory, and you're able to recount that incredibly vividly.
Okay, got it. You see just scrolling it down, and then on one of the papers there's just this upside down thing, and circling around eyes, drawing it, trying to get it just right.
All right. You spend the rest of the evening trying to draw out this thing that you saw in this almost, and you didn't even really get an amazing look at it either. It was kind of this weird, hazy, almost dreamlike state that you see this thing in, but you jot it down the best that you can. Kind of leaves you in a bit of a state for the remainder of the night. Ruma, it is time. You must meet with your contact.
Understood.
You stand and you make your way out of the Zafar Inn to a area in the first layer of high water to one of the many taverns and bars. You slip your way into this relatively hidden place where a older man sits at a desk. He wears these fine robes, much finer than anyone should wear who would dare set foot in such kind of a seedy, dark place. He's bald head and thick beard give him an almost otherworldly, wizardly look, and he wears some vestments that indicate that he is from the church. Ah, Ruma, it is good. You've arrived on time. Please take a seat.
I'll walk up and sit down.
This man is Tor Gryffindor, a archbishop for the Church of the Goddess, and also your primary contact for the Order of Kalis, of which you serve.
Watcha. So his name is Tor what?
Tor Gryffindor. Griffingole.
Written law.
You have been away
Cannonballs.
for some time, my friend. How was your journey across the sea?
It wasn't the most efficient, but it was successful.
I assume that you have obtained the map piece then.
Yes, sir.
Good. Excellent. That makes, what, 3 now that this band that you found has obtained?
Yes, sir.
Good. Excellent. With these map pieces, we will be able to harness much power. And we will bring Elyssia back to its golden age. You do a good service to our order. And a good service to the goddess as well.
I agree. But I do question, Archbishop. As I've gone
What?
through my travels, I am curious how we plan on using this power to return Elyssia to its prior state. It
And
seems as
suppose
if
it-
it's a gray area of great debate.
I assume that you have spoken to the unfaithful, purveyors of Braska's old order, who have perverted the stories and corrupted them for their own twisted ways.
Well, it's not so much the Church of Braska that concerns me, but other individuals of spiritual concern.
And who would that be?
In the seas, we met many individuals from the afterlife. Many claiming to use similar magic Braska uses in the Beckonings. And some claiming that the power we will wield with these map pieces will not necessarily eliminate Beckonings, but augment them and enhance them. As a low-level agent, I'm just curious if what our strategy is.
Oh, thou dire words that I'll have to take back to the rest of the order. Though, if such a power does exist, then it would be best for us to see it with our own eyes and figure out a way to destroy it. Would you not agree, Ruma?
Very much agreed that I was hoping you would say.
But, if it is something that can be harnessed by the order, then shall we not take it and return Elyssia back to the Kalis that it once was? Back to the way the goddess intended it.
I believe you are correct. And I
Excellent.
believe we will be able to empower such the goddess to return the land to the way she sees fit.
Good. I heard that you are going on an expedition to Selos, the city of unity, beyond the citadel and the deserts, to attend to our pontiff's pet project.
That is correct. The expedition will be led by his brother.
While you are there, see if this girl is actually goddess reincarnate. And if she is, bring her to us. Not where destiny, not where he would send her. Bring her to Kalis, and we will see if she is worthy of the name.
You want me to bring her regardless? I don't know if I'll be able to identify somebody of such power.
I will leave that to the holy members of our church, our most excellent, who will be attending with you. If they determine her to be a fake, then she is a fake, and the church will do what the church has always done to blasphemers. But if she proves to be the genuine article, we will bring her to the order. Do I make myself clear?
Very clear. Although I don't
Excellent.
believe her to be a blasphemer. I believe her to have come in possession of great power, not necessarily knowing what it means. I would hate the church to punish somebody disproportionately, especially without their knowledge.
Well, that is what we are going to determine now, isn't it?
Correct, Archbishop.
I believe we will be talking before you leave. Look for me. It will be quite obvious when we need to talk again.
Or we'll just give him a head nod and stand up from his seat.
He kind of turns back towards his... He has no drink or really anything. He kind of turns back, just looking down at the table, trying to make himself inconspicuous amongst everyone. And Ruma, as you go to leave and you look back, he almost has this strange power that he's like blended in with the crowds that are there, and he's lost amongst it. And even you and your discernible eye or any magic would have difficulty finding him. And you're able to return to the Safar Inn.
All right, we'll play with the cats in the cat tree.
You will play with the cats in the cat tree. And it's morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello. Welcome back to your first morning here in Highwater.
We did it.
Yeah.
Excellent
There it
rest
is.
all around except for Jamie, who had a terrible dream.
Yay, terrible
Hooray,
dream.
it's not as real this time.
Let's go.
All right,
Slept
guys.
like a baby.
I've had a headache developing for like 30 minutes, and it's at the point where I can like not see. So I think I'm gonna call it an early night for myself.
Yep, all good there, man. I hope you feel better, and we'll talk to you
Thank you.
soon.
All right, I'll try to tune into the stream for the last bit of it here.
I say we're almost
Watch
wrapped
your
here
eyes
for the night,
closed.
so.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Take care.
Bye, man.
Feel better.
Brendan fixed the cameras, which surely
Uh,
have been annihilated as usual.
Actually, well, I mean, I'll just transition to the names are not correct right now for both me and Ezra. I am not
Ah.
Ruma, and he is not Darby.
Are you sure?
It's fine. We also
Darby
still have Prince
now.
Zafarin on everything, and so like I gotta.
I'm
You'll
gonna
never
stop having
know.
nice roll cards. I'm Darby.
Ooh, I hate a ghost hand, and I trick people to punch tables. Ooh. Look at my big feather hat. Ooh, yarg, matey.
I like how we make fun of Darby's hat, but not fun of
I know.
our hat.
Yeah, right. Arthur's hat, who is objectively way more ridiculous.
Yes,
Yes.
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 Yep, it is more weird. For sure.
To be fair, Darby's got much more of an attachment to his hat.
He loves his hat.
Uh,
I still don't even know why he loves his hat. We're gonna figure that out.
That is the thing that does not really come up.
All right, it's morning. You guys meet up in the tap room.
I will immediately run over to Ruma and say, "Why did you meet with somebody in a bar last night?"
Oh my god.
I was in that bar playing cards. Why were you there? What were you talking about?
So I guess we would.
Why is there a drink on top of it?
Wait for our summons, or are we
thing.
supposed to just go over to Destiny?
I assume we're expected to just go there as soon as.
Then we'll wait for a summons.
All right,
Yeah,
fair. I have no problem
Yeah.
with that.
I'll leave it up to Dr. Jamie. I'll be
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
your call.
Yeah, it's your family that'll be mad
It's
at
your
you.
sister who we didn't know existed until yesterday, so
Last
you tell
night.
us.
What, oh yeah,
would
I have a
assume you-
sister. I didn't think I had to go through a family tree with you guys.
No,
No,
by
no.
all means you don't. I wasn't saying you needed to. I was just saying we were surprised to meet her, and it's your call whether or not we just go to meet with your brother, and his whole situation, or if we wait to be summoned.
Well, I mean, I'm all for making him wait. I did say that we would go tomorrow. So that leaves us until a minute before midnight.
I like the way you think.
That is still technically tomorrow.
So unless they send somebody over, I feel like we'll
They
just
send somebody over.
within 30 minutes or something.
DM is
I was
like,
gonna say,
they're
when you don't
there.
show up within like an hour or two, they send people over.
yeah, just like
course.
hanging out. But I think I would be like, let's see if I need anything in particular. No, I just have a bunch of weird stuff. Did you guys get any cool stuff?
Outside of his ghost hand, I don't know.
Yeah. I just do this.
That's pretty weird. I won't lie. Other than that, I don't think there was much weird stuff out there.
Other than the recipe, really.
Yeah.
The ship.
Okay.
Yeah, and the
They had
ship.
a boat with a magical sail for a while, but Prince Safarin took off with that.
Yeah. Well, we did get a piece of paper that says 1 free ship. That's.
Yep, we do have a voucher for a free ship. I'm not sure where we turn this in.
It's not going to be worth anything.
You also got a winged cat that hates Darby.
And
Yeah, oh yeah, so we got the
Sentinel has
cat.
a giant replica mascot head of me, so that's cool.
We'll have to hang that somewhere in the inn.
Yeah.
Well,
Please do.
and you were like a
Mounted
good.
on the wall,
Yeah,
like
that's
a
like-
deer head.
So, and you were a good pirate, right? Like
According to
you did well in
according to the
pirating.
amusement park, he was the greatest pirate to ever
good
pirate.
It has some kind of moral connotation that wouldn't be very fitting of what I did. I was a very successful pirate.
And you normally just came back with less limbs than when you started. And no treasure.
Yes, I'm trying to do the right thing. Now, I guess this time I'm a morally good pirate rather than a just good as in successful pirate.
Ah, I see. Well, I guess you can't be both.
They're kind of opposites, really.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
morally good, you're not very successful as a pirate.
I mean, I don't think that stealing from particularly groups of people is the worst thing to do, but yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I wasn't necessarily stealing from the poor or stealing from the rich when I was pirating. I was just stealing, period.
Well, there you go. You'll have a lot in common with, the people we're gonna go see today.
Yes, that is my old self did. Hopefully, I've turned a new leaf, but that remains to be seen.
Cool. Well then, yeah, let's get rocking. I think I will. Do they bring somebody? Like, I'm gonna wait until they bring somebody. I'm not
No,
gonna go.
an envoy with Faith show up again. She actually comes with a couple church people this time, and she's like, "Hello, brother.
Oh, I suppose it's
Morning.
time for us to go,
Good morning.
Morning.
I believe our meeting time was now, so I'm just here to pick you up."
huh? We were
Oh, well,
just
thank
leaving.
you. Yeah, no, actually, you know what? We were just about to cut over there. I think that Sentinel is feeling a little under the weather here. There's a chicken flu going on.
We weren't sure where the chapel of the goddess was. It's kind of hard to find, so we figured you guys would show us the way.
Oh, Jamie, you've befriended such an interesting group of people. All right, I will lead you guys to the chapel if you would like.
Of course. Of course.
Sounds like the move. All right.
Oh, and Sentinel is your name, correct? Guardian Fowl?
Yeah, I mean that's one of my many names. Champion of people, finalist on the Crackle Natural at one time radio show star, all those things. But yeah,
Really collecting
Sentinels.
names,
Are you feeling under the weather?
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks like we have to stay here.
a case of the chicken pox.
It's super bad. Really contagious. Guardian Files killed entire people groups. The Wakamofina people are just gone.
Well, excellent. And she just pats your shoulder, Jamie. We have the world's best doctor here to take care of you, so it shouldn't be any problem at all. Right, Jamie?
Yeah, exactly. That's why we will stay here and get this stuff figured out, and you can come back in a week, maybe, once he's not contagious.
The caravan plans to leave in 3 days, so a week might be a little difficult.
Okay. Well, then I guess you couldn't just, get someone else to do this church field trip.
Des is pretty adamant about it, and I think it'd be fun to go on a little trip together. Like a vacation. Very
funny
sandy
thing, we
vacation.
just came back from a vacation.
Anyway, all right. Well, I think he's all right. I'll go over to Sentinel and I'll just poke him a few times. Yep, all good. All right, let's go.
Sentinel kind of laughs like little hee when Dr. Watts pokes him. I mean,
All right. Oh yeah, might as well.
You hear Faith just kind of laugh, since she is relatively aware of your antics, Jamie, from your time as children. But she does take you up to the Chapel of the Goddess, where Destiny has amassed quite the entourage. Normally, this is considered to be a peaceful, tranquil place where the pontiff and his bishops would be with limited numbers of people. Now it's like a friggin' circus up there. There's these tents and all these people just kind of there, church officials, healers, just kind of gathered around as this caravan is being planned out and supplies are being gathered and whatnot. As you make your way inside the chapel, the large entrance hall that leads to the cloister is also just full of different church officials and stuff as this entire thing is being, rigamarolled together, I guess you could say. It's a far cry from when you guys were here a few months ago and found out that Destiny was the pontiff. The Chapel of the Goddess, instead of feeling like a most holy place at the highest point in Elyssia, now feels like a common market or drunken tavern hall. Just a little more religious. It's like all you can eat fish fry down at the Catholic Church during Lent. No one's actually drinking. Well, actually, I guess if it's Catholic fish
Yeah,
fry, there's probably beer there, but
Are there scroll stores with inspirational scroll books about how to be a better servant of the goddess, and a coffee shop?
there is a coffee table where people have left like coffees and little pastries and stuff. Unfortunately, no scroll stores, but you can assume
Dang.
that one of the caravans will probably have one. So as you are traveling, they may impart these inspirational phrases of the goddess to anyone that passes by and is willing to part with a small bit of coin for one. A tithe to the church, obviously.
Of course, of course.
Mhm.
Faith leads you to the cloister where Destiny is in a heated conversation with a man. Bald hair or bald head, thick beard, wears robes and vestments that are incredibly nice, very formal, markings of the church as he speaks with Destiny. And upon seeing you, Jamie, your brother, stops. Ah, brother. Ah, it's good to see you. It's been, what has it been now? 3 weeks since you've last come and checked up on, your side of the caravan. And I see you brought your friends as well. I'm glad they were able to make it on time. We were worried there for a second. A few of us had wondered if you had gone to see the goddess or not.
Well, that would have been awfully hard to do, seeing how they're the other end of this caravan.
True, but we are very thrilled to see you. Oh, I'd like to introduce you to Archbishop Tor Griffingole. He is joining us on this expedition as our expert in the affairs of the goddess. He will be discerning if this girl is in fact who she says she is.
Oh, you've done this a lot?
I have. Well, perhaps not in a situation like this, but I have studied the goddess's ways for many, many years, and I'm considered to be the church's upmost expert in her ways and her teachings. I will discern if this girl speaks truth.
So you've done this before. You've found out if someone was the goddess or not.
Brother, you need to understand that this has never happened before. No one has just claimed to be the goddess, or if they have, they've never been able to back it up in such a way. We're talking miraculous signs of power here. The ability to see the future and perhaps even worlds not even of our own that only the goddess could know of.
You'd be surprised how common that is.
Look at Jamie for a second and then back to
It's-
Destiny.
huh.
I look forward to working with you all. The deserts of Daughter are incredibly dangerous, and I am not much of a fighter. If you'll excuse me, I have some work to do with my bishops who will be joining me and would be performing the discernment. Good to meet you all. And Tor kind of makes his way out of the cloister, leaving just you, Faith, and Destiny.
I don't think it's a good idea to have geriatrics be on a life or death desert mission.
I, brother, have the full confidence in Tor's ability. He's the best we have in the church right now.
Well, that amazing and irrelevant piece of information aside, I thought I was the medical doohickey of this whole thing, and are you sure this guy is even going to be able to make it across the street, let alone across a desert?
Well, Dr. Watts, that is your job, is to make sure he does. And brother, I have the most confidence in you in that mission.
All right, what did you want to see me about other than to show off your very, very old friends?
That was a side effect of the conversation. I'm bringing you all here as we leave in 3 days, and I had heard your friends had returned to town, and I figured that we'd want to update them on the goings-on and the mission path.
Yeah, I mean, since we don't have much of a choice, go ahead and fill them all in. I will be here, I guess, because I'm guessing I'm not allowed to leave.
Faith kind of just slides up next to you and just kind of puts her arm around you, Jamie. Just doesn't say anything, kind of holds you in place.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead.
I'm not sure if you've been informed, Sentinel, but a particular Gorg is going to be joining us in our scourings of the desert. His name is Doomlance, if you're familiar with him.
I am. And Dr. Watts, I think, has mentioned it.
Excellent. Thank you, Jamie. I'm glad to see that my brother was able to do at least part of his job here on this caravan. Well, my maid. Doomlance will be meeting us in Daughter. We'll be stopping by there first upon leaving Highwater, and then from there we'll be traveling out to the deserts, where we'll be making a swing by the Citadel, which is why, Sentinel, you and Doomlance's services are requested. The Gorgs are not necessarily keen on human folk making their way into their territories. And though there is a loose peace between Daughter and the Citadel, we don't want to alert them with a large caravan. It is a peaceful mission that we're on. As a reminder, you're all the muscle to assure that, well, the monsters that we may encounter in the desert won't hurt anyone. Much like our aging friend that my lovely brother has so pointed out. From there, we will make our way to Celos, the City of Unity, where we will meet the girl. Toll will discern whether or not she's the goddess. If she is, she will return to us to Highwater, where we will try to figure out more. And if not, then we will leave and head back. Unfortunately, the expedition proving a failure, but one we must take. Wouldn't you agree, Jamie?
No, I don't agree about any of this. We could just leave this delusional girl alone.
I'm glad there's someone.
That's also the option.
I'm glad there's someone here with a very critical eye. We want to make sure that everything is done the most correctly that they can be on this mission. That's your job, brother.
I'm getting a lot of jobs.
Just making sure that you're aware that when you don't come to the scheduled meetings, that sometimes you get assigned things without necessarily your consent. But I know you will. He just takes your shoulders. I know you will do an excellent job at all of them, brother.
Is the pontiff supposed to walk around with his like ceremonial robes open? We can see all your stuff.
You are always been the Joker, Jamie.
I'm not joking. It's weird, and I don't like you having your hand on my shoulders while your stuff is out.
He just kind of pulls away. He quickly does look down to check his robes, realizes he's fine, and looks up, kind of scowls a little bit. Faith laughs.
JB has a middle finger up. Yes. He looks at
Ugh.
Nothing ever ceases to amaze me.
You look every time, which I think is the funny
I
bit.
look every time because the pontiff must look a certain way. Brother, he must be presentable. He must represent the gods, something that you don't need to represent because you don't need to represent anything.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have to represent a mystical mumbo jumbo. That's correct. You're right. I could just be a person, a regular person like everybody else.
I look forward to this expedition ending and us encountering the girl and discerning that she is in fact the goddess. Not only marking my tenure as pontiff, a special place in history, but also to convert my dear lost brother who has been so misguided over the years.
Oh my goodness. Is there anything else you need? Or are you just gonna, you want to keep waxing?
We leave in 3 days. I'll need you all down on the first layer outside, near the city gate, by about 4 a.m. From 3 days from here. Do I make myself clear, Jamie, since you are one of the key leaders on this expedition?
I heard you. 7 days down on the first layer. We'll be there, prepped and ready to go.
He scans the group to see who looks to be the most, like trustworthy / put together, and he kind of settles on Sentinel. Guardian Fowl, you will assure 3 days, correct? For the Pontiff.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see the old stomping grounds, and not a big fan of the sandworms, but
Welcome to Dune.
yeah. But you know,
And
yeah, I will make sure that I will do my best to keep this herd of cats
Good.
in the right direction.
Sentinel, you're considered to be a leader as well, so I look to you for guidance in these measures of defense and tracking.
Of course.
Brother, you had something to say?
oh yeah, no, I did as I was leaving. Your people keep holding up the hydro farm down on the first layer. I'm gonna need that to stop before things get worse for your people.
The hydro farm has not been approved by the city because it has not been approved by me yet, Jamie, because nobody decided to get it approved by me. You do know that the city has systems for a reason, and just because your little rat pack thinks they can get away with things that they can get away with, they shouldn't be able to they shouldn't go through me, and they need to go through me. Do you understand?
Just thought I'd let you know.
Well,
He turns around and starts
brother,
walking
because you've lovingly brought it up to me, I will be sure to approve said thing and let the guard know not to harass them anymore.
Good. That was gonna really suck for your people.
What is everyone's passive perception?
Ooh, what is my path?
My passive
15.
perception is 20.
Holy
Jeez.
buckets!
Nothing gets past me, baby.
Yeah.
Nah,
15.
I don't have high. I don't have high. Not higher than that.
Throughout this entire encounter, you've obviously been pretty quiet, and that is because there's something off right now, almost like you're being watched. And as you kind of are like looking around the room, not necessarily saying anything, you notice a glint coming from the top of the domed church ceiling. Just a slight glimmer from one of the lights shining through the stained glass window. But you instantly recognize that glimmer as a knife that immediately gets hurled towards Pontiff Destiny. Give me an initiative roll. Just you, Azriel.
Ooh, that's gonna be good. That is a 21.
You beat the knife thrower's initiative. What would you like to do? This knife is being hurled. It has been hurled towards the Pontiff.
I guess what I would do, if you will allow it, is I will, just because Arthur loves, or Azrael loves a dramatic flair, is he will reach for his pistol and he will shoot the knife out of the air. At the screen. And I won't make any move to let Destiny know what I'm doing, so it looks like I'm pulling my pistol out at Destiny and shooting at him, but it will go by like his ear and hit the knife out of the air and it'll hit the floor.
So everyone sees Arthur draw his pistol, aim it at Destiny. Jamie, as this happens, how do you feel that Azrael's aiming a gun at your brother, not knowing what's actually happening right now?
Well, I had turned around to leave, so because I was like this, so I guess I don't see anything.
You don't
until
see
I
it, so you just hear a gunshot.
kind of go off. Yeah.
Turn around, and all of a sudden, everyone, Faith is drawing out her weapon, seeing Azrael that you're doing this, but all of a sudden you hear the knife clink against the ground and slide over. Pontiff Destiny has fallen to his knees in just kind of shock that he thought he was going to get shot. And Azrael, as you look up, a cloaked figure jumps down and descends from the ceiling with another one close behind him on the other side, and they engage you. That is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh boy.
The
got
church is under
assassins.
attack, baby. Let's
Interesting.
go.
We will fight.
Next week.
Exciting stuff, man. That's cool.
Ooh, I love it. I love it.
Yep, everyone, welcome to the new arc of the Elyssia campaign.
Wow.
Shout out, man. Good session. Good session.
The
Somebody
seeds have been planted.
Play DC Talk.
DC
'cause it's
talk.
Yes, it's about to get real churchy in here.
Yeah. All the music going forward is just gonna be like Baptist hymnals.
I want it to be all grunge rock. I want it to be all early 2000s Christian grunge rock. I will
Grunge.
come
I
up
love
with a
it.
playlist.
Yeah.
What will
All
people
skillet.
think if they know
Just
that I'm a Jesus?
Skillet for
To-
forever.
Oh god.
Oh, I love it.
Goddess freak. What will people do if they find out? Oh. That's a no theme for this. It's Goddess
love it.
Freak. It's
Goddess
Goddess
Freak.
Freak. It's a different band.
God, it's freak.
It's DC not talk. It's DC I don't even know.
DC Squawk.
DC
Squawk. Squawk.
They're all
These are the Guardian-
they're all
they're
Aracocras.
Yes.
They're all Guardian Fowls.
Yeah,
They're dressed up
better.
they're dressed up as the Guardian Fowls.
Yes, yeah, no, they're
That's
just
Their band's just called the Guardian Files, which kind of sounds like it could be an indie rock band
Yeah.
name.
the Guardian Fowls, their hit album DC Squawk with the hit single Goddess Freak.
Goddess freak.